Since 2017, Sudeep has been instrumental in building Goa's innovation ecosystem through over 800 programs, impacting over 58,000 participants. He has supported over 100 projects, nurtured startups, and pioneered platforms such as the Virtual Innovation Register and Rapid Prototyping Lab, earning Scotch Awards and national recognition. He has been recognized by the Honorable PM for Virtual Innovation Register, recognized as the best innovation in the state. Sudeep also serves as the State Nodal Officer for the National Mission on Interdisciplinary Cyber-Physical Systems, collaborating with the Indian Army, BITS Pilani Goa, Fire Fatorda, and the Chief Minister's Fellowship Program. A mentor, strategist, and lifelong sports enthusiast, Sudeep continues to empower innovators and researchers to shape Goa's technological future. So without further ado, let me call upon our speaker, Sudeep Valdesai. Everybody, come on, make some noise.
Good afternoon, one and all. Hope everybody had a good lunch. And thank you so much for the organizers of the Goa Developers Summit for giving us this opportunity to present to you the future and the innovation. So what is this future that we are talking about? Is it about creating solutions? Is it about creating sustainable ideas, sustainable products? Is it about going to the Mars? Or is it about solving grassroots level problems? So today I would like to speak little more about the future and the innovation. It's a very interesting topic. As we are young entrepreneurs, young innovators, we have a lot things to think about the future because this is the right age. I mean, I'm addressing to the dear students who are out here. This is the right age to innovate and to think about solving real life problems. So what is the future and innovation? Have you thought about it? What kind of technology are we going to use in the future? Is it going to be AI? Is it going to be a total change in technological landscape where we start just putting commands in a chat box and the chat box gives us solution? Yes, it may or may not be. But here I would like to give you some examples about innovation. Innovation is a process where we have to look for real life problems. Now what are these real life problems? If you are facing a small error or you're facing a difficulty in doing any process or any task, there are high chances that other people also may be facing that similar task. So that becomes a real life problem. Next is we have to think about the environment, societal impact, and how do we come up with sustainable solutions. Now how to shape this future and innovation? So now the main question is, who will create this future and innovation? The young minds, the students who are out here today. When you're going to think about building a product or going to build your project in your academic year, think about various domains where you can look for real life problems, you can talk to industry, you can talk to government bodies, you can talk to NGOs, come up with sustainable and technical solution. From there, we will take you to the process of innovation. That is, we are going to help you identify the problem statement, think about various ways we can come up with technology, we can build prototype using a prototyping facility which is there at Fatoda. From there, we'll try to commercialize your product. Commercialize in the sense we are going to work with an incubation center. We are going to try to help you get some government funds. Also look for co-founders for you. And along with that, also We will also try to help you make it into a scale-up product. The next part is what does the Goa State Innovation Council offer? The first platform that we offer is a platform called the Virtual Innovation Register, which anybody with an innovative idea can simply register your idea. There are three important benefits that you get. First is we will help you in filing patents. Second is we'll help you in commercializing it. Third part is where we are also going to help you to look for co-founders, funding agencies, etc. etc. The second important part is supporting research ideas and startups. As I mentioned about the Virtual Innovation Register, anybody with an innovative idea is free to register. We have certain schemes where you are eligible to apply for those schemes, okay? And the various programs that we do, one of the main programs is promotion of IPR, because we believe that intellectual property rights is very important. So in this process, working at the Goa State Innovation Council, we have also achieved around 22 patents filing in the state of Goa. The next is key initiative. What we do is we go to the industry, we go to the government bodies, and we look for problem statements. These problem statements are then later floated to our students, where you can register and you can apply and you can build technologies through the support of Innovation Council. This is something about the learnings. Innovation is not just about ideas, it is also about building and empathizing with your customers or your end users. Failures are the stepping stones, because no idea is great unless and until you don't execute and build it. And continuous learning is going to be a key part. So with this, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you so much.
Everybody please make some noise for our esteemed speaker and of course our memento presenter. Come on, you have to make some more noise. I see a lot of you here, though you all are spread out. I know it's a big stadium. Big room. For our panel discussion, we will be featuring a fierce set of women leaders from education, entrepreneurship and technology. So all women power, okay? 4 amazing ladies I'm going to be introducing to you. Our first out of these are Ms. Ekta Agarwal, CEO and founder of SS Technologies and Asterix Digitech. An educator, engineer and entrepreneur, Ms. Ekta has nearly 2 decades in academia and bridges the gap between industry and education through mentorship and advocacy for women's empowerment. She has been recognized with awards like the Wonder Women Award and Top Women Achievers by FIRE. So everybody please make some noise for Ms. Ekta Agarwal, our first panelist. Our second panelist is Ms. Maria Morena Miranda, Headmistress, PM Shri School, Birla. With over 36 years of teaching experience, she has transformed the school into a model of excellence, achieving 100% SSC results for 10 consecutive years. Maria has been honored with the National Award for Teachers and Goa State Best Teacher Award, and has also represented Goa at national platforms including Pariksha Pe Charcha. So everybody please join me in welcoming Ms. Maria Morena Miranda, our second panelist. Now on to the third. Please welcome Ms. Ankita Nagwekar, co-founder of Digitive, a Goa-based digital marketing agency. With over 9 years in digital marketing and an MBA in marketing, Ms. Ankita specializes in SEO, social media, and performance marketing. She also runs the popular vegetarian food blog, Veg Food Trails, blending creativity with strategy to help brands grow. Everybody, please make some noise for Ms. Ankita Nagvikar, our third panelist. Woo, indeed. And of course, we have our fourth and final panelist, Ms. Sunaya Shirodkar, Director, ASIA Technologies, an EdTech company which teaches robotics and coding to children. She is a postgraduate engineer and has trained over 20,000 students and mentored young innovators for international competitions. Sunaya also chairs the Women's Wing Goa Tech Association and has been recognized as Best Female Engineer in Goa as well as Best Female-Led Startup. Wow, amazing achievements. Please give it up for our fourth and final panelist, Ms. Sunaya Shirodkar. And for this talk, I would like to call on stage Mr. Rohan, who will be the moderator for this discussion. Yes, please, big round of applause. This is going to be interesting.
Thank you, Joe. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are had your lovely lunch and back with the full energy again. Okay, so I know we are just a little bit behind the schedule, so without much wasting my time, we'll start with the panel discussion, and it gives me immense pleasure to be moderating this panel with lovely four ladies, powerful ladies from Goa. Okay, so the topic of our panel discussion today is Women Coding the Digital Future. That's a powerful topic. Yes, so moving forward, my first question to you, ma'am, Modena ma'am, right? How do you manage to take technology and innovation to the doorstep of villagers? You are doing fantastic work in the village, and congratulations. We are proud that you have received the President's Award recently at the hands of our current President, Draupadi Murmu ji. So it's a very proud moment for Goans.
Thank you so much, Rohan. A very good afternoon to all of you. In fact, I must say, when I was transferred to the remote village school, Government High School, Morpila, I had never heard about it. And when I took over as the headmistress nearly 10 to 12 years back, I saw that the school had nothing much to offer. But what I saw were young minds, very curious minds, eager to learn, looking forward. 10, 12 years back, once we entered the school, we were cut off because there were no internet. But I saw that the children want to learn. Mind you, they are not from well-to-do families. They are first-generation learners. And the school caters only to tribal students. And so I encourage my youngsters to learn through projects, through practicals, gave them freedom to think out of the box. And 2 years later, my student attended Sakura Science Program in Japan. A tribal village boy who has not been out of Goa went to Japan. So it is just that you have to ignite their minds, encourage them. Remember, failing is also a part of learning. We as parents or as teachers, we are a bit hesitant. We are worried that the child may fail. In failing, the child can improve, learn more techniques, and can do better. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. But Ekta ma'am, you also have been in teaching profession. Okay, so how did your background in academia shape your approach to leadership, problem solving, and innovation in your entrepreneurship journey?
Thanks, Rohan. A very good afternoon to everyone present here. I think what I am today is basically is deeply rooted from academics. Like what I am today is deeply rooted back to academics. I repeat this is just because my years in academia has not just taught me how to deliver my lectures, but I think structured thinking is what we learned there, research is what we learned there, and besides this, another few other skills which we learned there were communication skills. All this right now are something which is the foundation of any company. Like for instance, another very important thing which we learned in academia is continuous learning. So when I started my journey in academia, I was teaching COBOL and Pascal. And eventually when I quit, I was teaching web tech and e-commerce. So continuous learning is, I think, one of the most important lessons which I learned. I implemented the same thing in my company. So learning and research is the foundation of the work we do. Besides that, having been with young students all around, nurturing talent is another skill we picked up from there. So team building is again another activity which probably I'm able to take it forward is because it comes back from academia. So yes, academia has been a driving force behind my company.
Right, ma'am. So Sunaya, my next question is for you. Okay. So I wanted to know what inspired you to step into the field of AI and robotics. It's a very niche domain what you have entered. So what inspired you to get into that field?
Thanks, Rohan, and a very good afternoon to everyone present here. I've been asked this question many a times. I think number one reason is my curiosity to know how things work and an absolute passion in hands-on learning. Because my core belief is until and unless you do not make your hands dirty, you do not do any kind of hands-on, any kind of practicals, you will not know anything. It may be if you want to become the world's greatest chef or a baker, until unless you do not get your hands dirty, you will not know how to bake. So yeah, AI robotics was because I had done my diploma also, and I wanted to know, like, there's a huge inclination in knowing how machines work, how robots work, how different types of sensors makes these robots intelligent, and now with AI coming, how this particular platform can make the robots more smarter. So, and combination of experiencing this hands-on learning, creating new things, and teaching people. So these are the three things that led me into AI and robotics.
Thanks. So, Ankita, my next question to you. I follow you on the social media, and I know your company is into social media. Okay, so you've been doing a lot of great stuff in the marketing side of it. So I just wanted to know how AI is transforming social media marketing.
Okay. Thank you, Rohan, for the question, and good afternoon, everyone present here. I want to say that I'm not an AI expert because I've seen so many people talking on AI. My perspective on AI is how we are using AI for marketing, and especially how the transformation happened in social media marketing. So initially when we were doing social media marketing, we used to do a lot of research, and the research we had to go on Google or see for different sources to come up with ideas or anything of that sort. AI was not new to social media platforms. It was already being used by the algorithms, but it the audience or the end users got access to it via ChatGPT. That's the first time when AI basically was accessible to everyone, and yes, we did use it a lot for social media marketing when it came to content writing and searching or doing research, because AI gives you a summarized answers to all your questions. But can you rely on that totally? I would say no, because you need to verify and always fact check. Because finally, ChatGPT is picking information which is only present on internet, and it doesn't know everything. So yeah.
I will ask you another question connecting to this, like how artificial intelligence is redefining the strategy and search results.
Okay, that's a nice question. So earlier, searching on Google, you would only get websites, like you would either get websites ranking on top, but now there is something called as zero-click result. Okay, without even clicking on any website and going into the depth, you can directly get answers on the search engine, the search result pages. So because of AI, which is called search generative experience, the way social media or the way search engine was working has definitely changed. So we are now not just doing SEO, but we are also doing something called as answer engine optimization, where we are training the websites to refer to the questions what people are actually putting out over there. So it's not anymore about just keywords, but more of solving the queries and being able to directly show the answers what people are asking. Yeah.
Okay. Sonaya, my next question to you is, what advice would you give young girls who want to pursue AI and robotics?
You have to stay curious, start small, start with the subject that you like, do some small projects, get your DIY kits, and then build on to those projects and see how you can build on to the subject domain, and that's how you go into the market.
So I would expect whoever wants to get into this field, Sonaya is here, so they can contact Sonaya before she leaves. I know you're leaving early, but before she leaves, you can catch her and ask your questions. So, ma'am, Morana ma'am, I wanted to know how can technology and innovations support and empower rural women?
See, it's very important that we empower not only the women, but we need to empower our tribal children too. Without internet, it is not possible to give digital background for them. So we have empowered our school first, where we have now every classroom is a smart classroom. We have around 20 computers, which we have a lot of internet facilities now. Being a rural village, parents are not educated, so we have to empower the girls, the children, students first. And now these internet facilities are helping the parents, because proper internet facilities will give the women to know internet banking, provide market for their products. They produce lot of agricultural products. So these can provide markets for them. Then they can get information about weather. And this is the way they can, our children also are girls, when they grow up, they will find that they can work online. They have a lot of digital resources, and hence we have to begin from small things and see that our tribal villagers, especially our women, are self-independent. They can work for themselves, they can sell their products and be very strong women.
Thank you, ma'am. I know definitely you are working in the rural area, so I think so you will take up these things also, make sure that the regions or the areas which are part of that, you will make sure that you empower the women into the innovation and technology.
Thank you.
Ekta ma'am, my question to you is, with the Gen Z, okay, it's a favorite topic of everyone, with the Gen Z increasingly entering the workforce, how do you adapt your leadership and company culture to align with their values, work style and expectation?
Yeah, thanks Rohan, it's a very
Everybody
interesting,
wanted to know about this.
yeah, very interesting question. And I hope I'll be able to share the perspective of a digital immigrant. So to understand the concept, we have people of our generation whom we call as digital immigrants, and the Gen Z are digital natives. So they are born with technology. Let me kind of relate some strong features. Their strengths over here are Gen Zs are very curious, very quick learners. They have access to immense information at the click of a button. So everything available on social media, it's just that we need to adapt. That is, when I'm talking about we, I'm talking about the digital natives who are programmed to work in a structured, hierarchical fashion, and we need to adapt ourselves so that we make our work environments more conducive and align it more to the expectations of the Gen Z. So I would say, I think I'm working with an entire lot of Gen Z. Some of my team is sitting behind there smiling. So what we do here is, they do not want to follow rigid protocols. They want to be flexible, they want to be creative. So I think these are things we give them the liberty, the space to think, not just confining them to our thought process. So it is a challenge though. So both of us have to make a step forward, that is the enterprises as well as the Gen Z. So there has to be an expectation matching that needs to be done here. So maybe since most of them are Gen Zs here, I would say we are having AI taking up most of our routine jobs. So the things which you need to focus on really is your soft skills, your networking, and collaboration with people. Be unapologetically human. I would say AI can make a presentation for you, but you need to present it yourself. So if you need to sell yourself, you need to be human. I think that's what I have to say for the Gen Z.
Very, very well explained, ma'am. Actually, I wanted to ask you all a couple of more questions, but we are behind the schedule, so I will cut short the panel discussion so that we complete our event by the scheduled time. So, just for the closing, I would like to say that our panelists have shown us that whether it's an AI and robotics, business innovation, academia or digital media, women are not just participating in the digital future, they are designing it. Let this conversation remind us that true progress happens when inclusion becomes innovation. On behalf of the Goa Developers Summit 2.0, thank you for your remarkable speakers for inspiring us, and to our audience for being part of this evolving story of leadership, courage and creativity. The future is indeed being coded by women. Thank you everyone.
Amrish brings over 20 years of global experience across AI, enterprise architecture, and large-scale applications in banking, finance, and aviation. He founded Atlasco Labs, leading next-gen AI platforms for conversational and agentic AI, transforming customer engagement through advanced multi-agent solutions. Previously, Mr. Amrish worked with global giants like JP Morgan, BNY Mellon, and Credit Suisse, and contributed to major digital transformation projects, including Air India's enterprise notification system during the Tata Group transition. He holds a BTech in Computer Science Engineering and an MBA from Goa Institute of Management, combining technical expertise with strategic vision. We welcome you, sir, and have an amazing session.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me loud and clear? Yes. All right. Sorry for having this session post-lunch. I hope all of you are waken up. And if not, I think Sai did a good job in waking us all up with this comedy. All right. AI, right? We've all heard about AI. Who hasn't heard of AI? Good. I don't see a single hand up, right? But that's good that, I don't know what I would say if someone raised their hand up. Or rather, it would not be right on this particular forum. My thoughts on that. But having said that, AI is all around us, right? We see it everywhere. But we would think that AI is a very recent concept, right? Something maybe 10 years back, 15 years back. Can anybody guess how far back AI was actually envisioned? Anybody? What if I told you it was coined 70 years back? Way back in 1956, three gentlemen, maybe over a pint of beer, I'm not sure, at a conference in the UK, coined this word called artificial intelligence. The three things that they wanted artificial intelligence to do: decide, act, and learn. The three principles which they said artificial intelligence should have. Then what happened for 70 years? Why did we went to the moon, we came back, we had satellites, we had jet fighters, everything happened, right? What happened to what happened to AI? Any idea what could have caused the transformation in the last 10 years, 15 years that we hear AI so much? There's one change that happened. That is the power of compute. We didn't have the capability to have complex processing done to be able to muster the true potential of AI. All of us have smartphones now, right? When I was in engineering, my computer that I had, a Pentium P2, had less compute than most mobile phones you see nowadays. That's the amount of compute that has evolved. And that's why you see AI coming up in a big way now, because we have capability to deliver it. All right? So what's agentic AI? We all use AI nowadays, right? ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Llama from Meta, Anthropic, right? We all have seen different flavors of AI. What's the difference between that and agentic AI? Primary difference stems from the fact that agentic AI goes back to the principles which were developed for artificial intelligence. The system is able to A, decide for itself, work autonomously, B, act, C, learn from it, and then repeat. So in a typical situation, you have multiple agents which all do, or bots we might call them, doing small things, and then you have a master bot on top of it which basically orchestrates this entire activity. There's intelligence built. You of course need guardrails around it so that you tell the system what not to do, right? But more than not, it's able to decide for itself and give you direction and give you the answers. So why agentic AI, right? What does agentic AI help you? What does it help you in enterprise? First thing it does is, it works 24/7, right? It's available all the time for you. It's able to scale up, scale down as the system goes. If there is a need, you have more bots that prop up. You don't need it, it goes down. 2, it's able to decide, and unlike traditional AI which basically aids human, agentic AI is able to help and work and basically take the role of human as much as possible. Not fully at the moment, but maybe in a few years, that also might happen, that it's able to even process faster and process better. Typically in an enterprise, right, you see many bots that are available. Any large-scale enterprise, depending on again what flavor of technology they are in, if they're into mostly into Microsoft, you will see a lot of co-pilots there. Everywhere, from your emails to your Word, Excel, Slack chats, to your SharePoint, everywhere you will see one kind of co-pilot that is there which enables you to integrate AI into the system. Again, depending on what, even if you have Google email, Gmail, right? Gmail also you see that there is an AI bot present which helps you summarize. Typically, if you look at an enterprise HR, let's take an HR use case, right? In an HR use case, you would have HR interacting with, for payroll, you had HR queries, right? People coming to HR at the moment. Now, with all the enterprise HR bots available, you don't have to go to an HR person. You basically can sit at your desk and have your queries addressed. Most of them get addressed. There are few which require certain kind of customizations, which you would have to actually go to the HR. But that basically ensures that the load that HR used to initially get, number of tickets that HR would get earlier has reduced drastically. This also goes on to see the in terms of maturity of the enterprise, in terms of their appetite for AI, right? Currently we hear AI everywhere, right? But is it really imperative that you need AI? That's something that we need to gauge. It's like, using a hammer to break a groundnut. Is it really necessary? So you need to understand that the enterprise that you are consulting to, what is its maturity model? Where does the business case require AI in the first place? Because AI is not cheap, AI is expensive at the moment. It will get cheap as the days go by, but at the moment it's not that cheap. So maybe something as simple as maybe an RPA, maybe a simple Perl script, right? Some scripting that you run on a cron job, that might just do the job. That could be the need of the hour, right? But maybe the enterprise needs something which requires you to use agentic AI. So you have multiple bots that are there, right? And a master bot, which, like in the typical case of the HR department that I spoke about. Similarly, in other industries, you will have similar requirements. Let's take the case of BFSI, banking, finance, insurance, right? Your KYC, your claim processing. Nowadays, if you call any leading motor insurance company after any accident, the voice at the end is that of an agentic AI bot that's running behind the scene. It's primarily there to collect all the data. You don't need people. So it basically means you can call any time of the day and night. You wouldn't have to wait for your call to be answered. You wouldn't have to hear like a normal IVR call where, English के लिए एक दबाए, Hindi के लिए दो, Konkani के लिए तीन, Marathi के लिए चार, right? You wouldn't get any of that. You can directly speak in your natural language. The bot will understand which language you're speaking to, what are you talking about, and respond back quickly. Similarly, if you look at a case in aviation, right? In aviation, if you look at, we typically, right, you want to catch a flight now. You want to see whether your flight is on time. What would you do? You would primarily go on Google and check, right? Is my flight to Goa to Bombay on time? Google will not give you the latest information. It will give you kind of information, but it won't give you whether your flight is on time or not. What if you have an app or a number that you can call, right? And based on that data, you know that based on the data that it gets from the phone number, it can check, pull up your PNR and check which flight were you on and able to address your questions, right? That basically helps you in customer support, right? In customer support, similar use case, your wait time reduces, your satisfaction of the customers increases drastically on this. You don't need to, wait, your average waiting time, which are parameters which any call center is evaluated by, call handling time, call wait time, right? Customer CSAT scores. Everything improves primarily because your customers' issues are addressed very quickly. Typical call centers, your information calls that come in, about 60-70% invariably end up being informational driven, which can easily be handled by using any any agentic AI tool. Look at data analytics, right? Take an e-commerce example. He wants to know what was the sales targets, what are the last month, 3 months sales targets from selling a particular kind of footwear, maybe Kolhapuri chappals out in Meerut, right? What would he do? He would have no choice but initially use a BI tool, pull up this data, draw a graph and chart and then show it. Now, if he has agentic AI integrated within the application and has access to data, he's easily able to get that data through whatever messaging tool that they have available for the enterprise. It's that simple now. Its only question is, what can you do? For programmers, right? We have programmers over here. How many of you all have tried using the bots that are available in GitHub? If not, yeah, I see a few hands. Very nice. Go back, see what are the bots available. I think there's a possibility of time I could explain that in more detail. But yeah, bots are able to do a PR pull from when you check in a code, run unit test cases, do a documentation around what you have done, right? Update your Jira story. All that can be done if you have that setup done, right? It helps a lot in complex programming. Finally, with great power comes great responsibility. Not coined by me, Spider-Man's uncle said that. What are the things that we need to take care when we have AI in the picture? AI can do a lot of things, but we need to tell him what not to do. To give you a use case, went to a customer to do a demo on AI. First thing he put in this was, what is the recipe for a blueberry cheesecake? Luckily, we had guardrails in place. It didn't tell them that this question is out of syllabus. More politely though. You need to take care because since AI has information to data, it has information to personal information as well. Your phone numbers, your email, your PAN details, Aadhaar card details, right? We don't want someone to do some kind of injection, SQL injection or any other prompt injection to be able to get all this data or for that matter go and delete your account, right? So building systems ensure that there are guardrails in place which prevent you from, prevent people who are mischievous or inventive to break your system. Sorry, I guess that's about time that I have. I could go on and on, but maybe some other time, some other place. Thank you so much. You have a good day.
A louder round of applause, guys. We have our next speaker, Kushagra, founder of Astral Project and lead game developer of the upcoming title Mystic Motors. Kushagra has previously served as lead game designer at No Borders, contributing to 8+ live titles across platforms. He also co-leads indie game group India by Google Play and actively mentors young creators in game design and creative technology. His work combines technical expertise with creativity, fostering a new generation of game developers in India. Can I have a round of applause for Mr. Kushagra?
Good morning. A few years ago, I remember in 2020, we were all facing the lockdown in our houses, and some of us got to take a little break from work, from school, from college. Some of us unfortunately fell sick. Some of us got to spend time with our families, learn new hobbies, and just pause for a while, right? But I also remember at that time, it was almost like this golden era of gaming was back, if you people remember. Because most of us were playing these online multiplayer games with our friends like Among Us, Call of Duty, PUBG, Valo, Free Fire, Stable.io, Ludo even. A show of hands please, people who played these multiplayer games during the lockdown with their friends. Yeah? And a show of hands for people who have played games in general. Yeah, see, this is why I love gaming technology. Because games, they have such a beautiful way of connecting all of us together, right? And I have been playing games ever since I was a kid. I mean, I started with Super Mario Brothers. Can we have a cheer for Super Mario Bros? Yes? For GTA San Andreas. And one of my personal favorites, Far Cry 3. Yeah, so a lot of these games, right? I remember like I started with Super Mario Brothers and then I used to play GTA Vice City, GTA San Andreas, GTA 5, Far Cry, FIFA, Need for Speed. What else? Come on, your favorite games, guys. Sorry? Yeah, Call of Duty Warzone. Yes. So a lot of these games, right? And I'm pretty sure all of us have played these games at one point or the other in our lives, right? And all of us have probably wondered about this very fundamental question, which is how are games actually made? And this is exactly what I'm going to talk about in today's presentation. I'm going to try and answer this question that all of us have had at some point of time while playing a game, which is how a game's actually made. Now, before that, we've already had the introduction, but I'm Kushagra, founder of Astral Project, a lead game developer and a game designer. I'm also the co-lead for a community in India by Google Play called Indie Games Group India. And I have been extremely lucky to be in this field because as a kid, I loved playing video games and I love coding. And video game development is just such a beautiful combination of these two things. And today, I am here to tell everyone how this field is made, how games are made, how this field actually works. Alright? So, today's presentation is going to be about making Android applications for 64-bit platforms. And no, I'm kidding, it's going to be about making games, of course. So, now, you have to understand, video games, just like any piece of software, follows a development life cycle. Alright, we all know about software development life cycle, and since games are just essentially software, they also follow this life cycle. Alright, and we call it the game development life cycle. Think about this, like this piece of software has to run beautifully at 60 FPS on ultra graphics in real time. Nowadays people start crying if they can't run the game on 60 FPS on ultra settings. But this very complex piece of software where so many different things are working together in cohesion to give you that beautiful experience in real time, on multiplayer, it's pushing your software and your hardware to its max, right? And to develop something like this, it's not easy, of course, right? So we follow a life cycle when we are making a game called a game development life cycle. Now I'll just quickly explain how this life cycle works. The first stage that we have while making a game is the pre-production part, right? You're sitting in your room, you get an idea, okay, I'll make this game. Now, how do you actually approach that process, right? So that's the first stage. The first stage is the pre-production, where you actually think about the game idea, what are the mechanics going to be like, how would the characters look, how would the story be like, what would you make it for, like what platform, what kind of audience are you targeting, right? All of these things come under the pre-production part, where you actually sit, plan stuff, build your team, figure out your requirements, what your characters are going to be like, what are the levels going to look like, and just prepare a basic plan. Now, once you have that basic plan ready, we go to the next stage, that is the production stage. Here, we actually start making the game. So the designers start doing their work, they start designing the game, the developers, they start coding the game, the marketing people, they start preparing for the marketing and stuff, and this is the second stage. After we think, okay, we are through the second stage, is when we reach the third stage, that is, once you have an MVP ready, something that's ready for testing, that people can play, we send them to our mortal enemies, the testers, alright? And they find bugs in our games and report issues and then give the game back to us to fix those bugs. So stage 2 and stage 3, production and quality assurance, they go hand in hand. We produce the game, we give it to the testers, they give it to us back with the feedbacks, we work on it, and it's an iterative process. Until you kind of reach the fourth stage, which is the launch, alright? Either the deadline is already there, or you've made the MVP, right? So the launch happens, the big day, it comes, your game actually goes in the hands of real people, you get to see how it's performing, you get to hear their feedback, and that's when you reach the final stage, which is the post-production stage. This is where we take the feedback, provide updates, maintain the servers, and do the marketing, make sure that the game is doing well, we're hearing the people's feedback, and improve the game even further. So these are the basic 5 stages of game development lifecycle, by the way. So this is how the game development process is. Okay. By the way, it's just one very interesting question. Do you know anyone here, which was the first 3D game to come out of India? Any guesses? Any guesses? The first 3D game to come out of India? No, okay. So the answer might surprise you. It's Gajni the game. Okay, you all can go and search it. It's basically like GTA 3 but with Amir Khan. So it's a lot of fun to play, to be honest, right? But all of these things aside, I still haven't answered your question, which is how are games actually made? Right? I have told you the process, but how are games actually made? Now, because we are game developers, we use a cheat code, and that cheat code is called a game engine. All right? A game engine is basically software on which we make games. So think of it like Photoshop, but for games. All right? A game engine gives us the necessary tools and libraries that we need to create a game. All right? So a game engine might have a camera system, a physics system, a rendering system, an audio library, a video library, the backend system. So all of these things that we need to create a game, like the foundation, right? These are already given to us in a game engine. We can code it from scratch, of course, but we don't. Right? So that's when we use a game engine. Now, there are a lot of game engines out there in the market. You might have heard about a couple of them, like Game Maker Studio, Unity, Unreal Engine, but there are a lot of game engines out there, like CryEngine, Dunia Engine, Shiva Engine, Coco Studios, Godot. Some of them are free, some of them not so free. So I will actually just give you a very quick comparison of some of the biggest game engines out there. There's 5 game engines that I'm going to talk about. First is Unreal, of course. Second is Unity. Third is Godot, Cocos, and Game Maker. All right. Now, all of these game engines have different backends, front ends, different languages, different platforms that they're good for, different advantages and different disadvantages, right? So Unity, of course, I'm a Unity developer. This is the software that I use on a day-to-day basis. It's extremely powerful. We code our game in C# in Unity. And you can make from 2D games to 3D games to actually high-level games, AAA level graphic games on Unity. Alright? Unreal, on the other hand, a lot of companies use it to create these very big budget AAA level games. It's really good for that. We actually use C++ or something called Blueprints while we make games on Unreal. Then there's Godot, which is kind of like the smaller version of both of these. It's an open source software, so we code in a script that's kind of like Python, not exactly Python, but it's very similar. It's good for making 2D, 3D games, mid-level games. Then there's Coco Studios. I don't know if people actually use it or not, but there's that. And then there's Game Maker Studios, which these are some of the biggest game engines that you can actually Google and figure out which one is best for your use case when you're making a game. They all have their pros and cons, so yeah, you can find it online and figure out which one's the best for your use case. Now, let's say you want to join a gaming studio. Right now, you're like, okay, cool, I want to get into this industry. How many of you would actually think about getting into this industry? By the way, college students I'm asking about. Can you guys raise your hands, please? People who might be interested in joining the gaming field. All right, cool. So this is for all of you. What does a typical gaming studio look like, right? So a game studio has a lot of moving pieces. There are a lot of departments that have to work together to create a good game, alright? There's the game developers, there's game designers, there's the marketing people, there's the QA people, there's the backend people, you have 3D modelers, you have animators, so you have these different kind of people that you first think about the game and think about those kind of people that you will actually need to build your game and release it to the public, and then you build your own gaming studio around that, alright? And I do have a really nice section. It can get really, really complicated because a lot of these departments are dependent on each other and they would be different, they would have different roles in them. So just to quickly, this was my first picture at work, by the way, first day at work. But just to quickly show you all the roles that the students have, you all have options to go for. The gaming industry is pretty big. You have a lot of roles here. You have animators, 3D modelers, game programmers, front-end, back-end programmers, narrative designers, level designers, game designers. You have the marketing people, you have the UX UI designers, you have game testers, project managers, lighting artists, texture artists, community managers. You have system administrators, cinematic designers, creative directors, HR managers. So the point here is that the gaming industry as a whole is so big that even if you think that this might not apply to you, you can still join this very interesting industry. All right. Now, how can you join a gaming studio? This is especially really useful for the students. So, the first step is make games as much as you can, all right? Or make projects, make your portfolio. Customize your resume for the company that you're going to be applying for. Apply. The first call that you'll get is the HR call, where the HR calls you up, they're trying to figure out if you're a good fit for their company. Once they figure out you're a good fit for their company, the technical interview happens where you give the technical interview, you code and stuff, and you show them that you can actually make a game. Then you have the technical assessment, which is basically part of the technical interview, and then you have the final round where you negotiate the salary. Right? So this is basically how you can join a gaming studio. Now, I've been talking about game development a lot, but like, what is game development and what is game design? All right, so I'll just quickly clear the two main differences between a game designer and a game developer. So a game developer like me, they code, all right, and a game designer are the ones who design the game. So the game designer decides how can they make the game more fun to play, and a game developer is the one who has to code that game so that it becomes fun to play and it becomes functional, all right. Now, there's a very important document that we create while we're designing a game, and this document is called a game design document. And we cover a lot of things. It's basically like this main parent document that you have before you start the development process of the game, so that you know what all things are going to be included in the scope of your game, alright? So these are some of the things that are included in the scope of the game design document. I'll quickly just skip through them because we're running short on time, really sorry about that. And one last slide. So the one last thing that I would really love to talk about is a very interesting concept while we're making games or designing games, which is called dark design patterns. Now, these are some of the patterns that we as game designers use to keep the player hooked to our game. All right, and you might have seen these patterns in a lot of different games, but I'll just quickly explain one or two of them so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. So you might have seen this pop-up that comes whenever some of your friends are online, right? Your friend is playing, would you like to join the game? So this kind of pattern is called social obligation. Then you have all of these different dark patterns that we use. There's a very nice research paper that you guys can Google called Dark Design Patterns in Gaming. And this will give you all the tricks and tips that we use while making a game to make it more addictive and more fun. Alright, with that, I would just quickly like to wrap up the presentation. We spoke about game development, we spoke about game design, we spoke about how you can actually join a gaming company, what does a gaming company look like, what is the process entirely like. And with that, I hope you all understand a little bit about how games are made and the question, if someone asks you this in future, how games made, now you'll be able to explain it better. Thank you so much, that's my time, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much.
Truly an illuminating session. Kushagra, I request you to stay on stage. Can I please have Mr. Mayur Virkar, the CEO of CodeMax, to kindly present our speaker with the memento.
Respected dignitaries, my friends, fellow speakers, and most probably the brilliant minds in this auditorium who are going to shape the Goa's tech future. First, let me say what a privilege it is to be here at Goa's Developers Summit 2.0. Events like this don't just happen. They require vision, effort, genuine commitment to build our tech ecosystem. So thank you to GCCI and everyone involved for creating this platform where students, developers, entrepreneurs and industry leaders can come together. This is exactly what Goa needs, and I'm excited to see the connections and ideas they will spark here today. 10 years ago, if someone wanted to create an IT company, they would pack their bags and go to Mumbai or Bangalore. Today we are gathered here because the landscape is changing and each one of us in this auditorium is part of that change. Something remarkable is happening in Goa. We are not trying to become another Silicon Valley. We are creating our own unique tech ecosystem that values both innovation and life balance, where we can build cutting-edge solutions while staying connected to community and culture. When I started CodeMax back in 2016, people thought I was crazy to start a FinTech company in Goa. All were asking me, why not move to a metro? But I believe, and I still believe, that great technology can emerge from anywhere when you have passionate people and right mindset. I'll skip some part because we really don't have time. Look what's emerging in Goa. Today we have 700 startups over here in Goa, and our startup policy makes to M Goa one of the best startup destinations in Asia. Large companies as well as small are setting up operations over here, and students from institutes like BITS and GIM, they are choosing to stay back, build rather than migrate. I had the privilege of mentoring many startups, and what strikes me is the quality of ideas coming from our Goan entrepreneurs. They understand the real problem because they live them. They think differently because they have grown up in the intersection of tradition and modernity, East and West. What excites me the most is the timing. The world has discovered remote work. Companies realize talent exists everywhere. Clients care more about the quality and less about the postal code. This is our moment to show what Goa can offer. For engineers here today, the skills you are building, AI, cloud computing, blockchain, or cybersecurity, are needed globally. You don't have to leave home to work on a world-class project. To entrepreneurs, your understanding of the local challenges can lead to global solutions. The problems that you solve here in Goa are often present elsewhere. The path forward isn't competing with other tech hubs. It's about collaborating. We need to share knowledge openly. When one of us learns something, we all should benefit. We should support each other's venture, buy from local startups, hire local talents, invest in local ideas. Build gaps between industry and education. Our colleges produce bright minds. Let's ensure they are learning what industry needs. My father, who was a professor here in Goa for many decades, he taught me real success isn't measured in what you achieve alone, but what you help others achieve. I repeat, real success is not in what you achieve alone, but in what you help others achieve. Today, as we gather here at this Developer Summit, we are not just attending another tech conference. We are participating in Goa's transformation. Each line of code you write, each product you build, each person you mentor, it all contributes to something larger. The future of tech in Goa won't be built by any one person or a single company. It will be built by all of us working together, supporting each other, and proving innovation can thrive anywhere as long as passionate minds come together. Let's build the future, not for glory, but for Goa. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, as everyone can see, Goa Developers Summit 2.0 is powered by CodeMax. So, from the entire organizing committee, I would like to request Mr. Rohan to deliver a token of appreciation once again. A round of applause, guys. Everything that you see possible, powered by CodeMax today, a huge list of supporters, and all of them are truly invaluable to us.
Please welcome Mr. Aaron DaCosta, founder of Plebs Together Strong, a community-focused initiative promoting Bitcoin adoption and open source innovation in India. Aaron has a background in electromechanical systems design and years of industry experience, and is deeply committed to decentralized education and technology empowerment. He has led initiatives such as the BITS Summit, local Bitcoin business sandbox, and collaborated with Plan B Network Switzerland, integrating structured Bitcoin courses into Asian universities. Known for his energetic, story-driven style, Aaron simplifies complex technology using cultural and historical analogies, inspiring the next generation of developers, creators, and builders. So everybody, please welcome Mr. Aaron DaCosta.
Okay, hello, hi everybody. We're going to go really quick. We don't have much time. There's a very important idea I want to share with all of you all. And I know there are like a lot of misconceptions around the idea of decentralization. There's a lot of information in the mainstream news that you hear about, you know, there being scams and whatnot. But decentralized protocols, these are something that I believe are changing the world. And open decentralized protocols, I believe, are what we need to fix the world. To fix a lot of the problems that we have with the broken monetary systems, with the broken attention-based economy as well. And what we really need is good tools, and I'm getting a call. That's my brother. Wrong timing. Yeah, so we'll dive right in. Yes, design choices define freedom. So I'm actually not a developer, I'm a toy designer. I make toys for kids, and I design them, and then we have a company called Small Block. The idea here is that kids need to, very early on, learn to use open-ended toys to be able to play, to be able to be creative, to construct, to solve problems. And all of this happens a lot better with open-ended play systems rather than with closed-ended play systems, which have just one aim, and basically that's kind of what they end up learning. So the toy systems we make, they're kind of like Legos. You can play around with them in many different ways, and then that opens up a lot of different possibilities. In fact, like with a well-designed open-ended system, you can have an infinite number of outcomes. So here's an example of another open protocol, I would call it as such, because actually you can take chess and you can create your own version of chess. You can create speed chess, and then you'll have a few friends who want to play speed chess with you, right? But chess in itself evolved over time, and then it froze. And then everyone played the same version of chess that we've had for I don't know however long. But within that protocol of how it operates, you can have an infinite number of outcomes, and that's what makes chess fun for those who are really into it. The English language, that's another open protocol. What makes it really special is that it was able to adapt to any changes, new words that come in. For example, like the word bazaar, it's actually an English word as well, as it is also a Hindi word. So English was able to adapt. And that's what makes it, so universally utilized. And then, of course, we have like modern digital open protocols. So we'll dive a little bit more into this. This is what I'm more excited to share about. Yes. So what happens with closed protocols? A lot of the systems we use today, and I believe a lot of the problems that we face today, come from closed centralized systems. Now, I understand that a lot of us here might be building on those systems, and it might feel challenging to hear this, but if you really dig in deep, if you leave any system without the ability to have, to be able to react to changes, and without the ability for people from the outside to come in and make changes to it, it eventually starts stagnating. We see this, let's say even with the Roman Empire, and I'm going to have to go a lot faster. And we see this with certain other closed systems that we see monopolies in certain industries. Kodak died off, of course. We see Visa and MasterCard. These two, they seem to be competing with each other, but they're actually basically like splitting amongst themselves, right? And they prevent any kind of innovation to happen in the space of digital payments. And then of course you have these platforms, and these platforms are the worst. They have these incentive systems that are designed and baked into them that keep everybody almost enslaved to these tools, which they think they're consuming information, but a lot of the times it's slop. A lot of the times it's training them to behave in a certain way where they become the products themselves. Yes, so a lot of the greatest inventions actually have no owners at all. And over here I'm talking about the internet. The internet was built on open protocols, TCP/IP, right? The entire stack was built ground up from there. Anybody could utilize it. Even though you might have a better TCP/IP, you can't really replace it because it's utilized everywhere. You have SMTP, which is for mail transfer. You have FTP for file transfers. You have HTML. You have HTTP, HTTPS, which is like the secure version, right? And it's open for anybody to use these, open for anybody to build a browser, build a mail service provider, anybody to take the protocol and build upon it. The entire internet and everything that we have today has been built on the openness around this, and that's what makes it very robust, that's what makes it adaptable, that's what makes it possible for all of us to have access to it and to continue to build and do all these wild, crazy things that we're doing with all our ideas, with all our companies, with all our with the kind of education that we are doing as well. So, and then you have misaligned incentives. In a lot of these, especially with communication platforms, you see, and this is like the most generic, YouTube thumbnail that you would find, which is trying to draw your attention, and then in order for somebody to create a better thumbnail, they got to make something that is even more outrageous and draw your attention to that. So you tap or you click on that and you watch that video, and then basically that's keeping you trapped. With every scroll that you make, the platforms are earning. You're giving away your time, your attention, your energy, your ability to have only a few more minutes. And then of course there's outrage, which is probably one of the worst forms that you find on social media. Everything is just sensationalized, and the algorithm pushes all of these things upon you because it wants to extract your time for money, right? So decentralized systems, on the other hand, they are anti-fragile. This is a really good example of anti-fragility. This is a murmuration of starlings. If you see them, they fly around. One bird will look at the 7 other birds next to it and move and adapt, and they just move around. There's no single bird in charge. All of them are in charge. You also have, okay, I'm going to skip out all of this. This is something very common that you see in the monsoons here in Goa. You have nature, which is anti-fragile as well. It wants to reclaim, what has been taken away from it. So now coming back to other open protocols, you probably also come across Linux, which also grows stronger. The more attacks you have on it, it grows stronger. You have WordPress, you have Mozilla. These are all open source tools, and these are widely used and widely accepted. So what I want to introduce to you all is this other protocol. It's the protocol of money transfer. It is, I have 30 seconds to go, okay? And I believe Bitcoin is going to be the protocol for money transfer, and it is the world's neutral monetary layer. So you're seeing this in villages, you're seeing this individuals who are interested in learning more about why the money systems are broken. They are adopting Bitcoin. You're seeing this with larger companies, companies that want to hold it on their balance sheet, smaller companies that want to hold it because they see that Bitcoin is scarce and you can't create any more of it. It's probably a good hedge against inflation that you're seeing all over anyway. And then you see countries like Bhutan, which are betting big on Bitcoin, and this is just through mining from their hydroelectric projects that they have up in the mountains, right? They've been able to accumulate a lot of Bitcoin and now are utilizing that to build their entire country. A lot more, like every single day there's more announcements. Luxembourg, there's Lugano in Switzerland, there's El Salvador. Like every day there's new countries, new organizations that are announcing that they are adopting Bitcoin strategy. I believe it's time for Goa as well. I'm not going to talk about Nostr, but please look it up. That's another really cool protocol for social media and for building a lot of other cool things on top of it. Look it up. And I really think Goans should not miss out on this opportunity. It's something that is not spoken about because most people do not understand it. I think you need to have another look at it. And there are big things being built on top of Bitcoin. You can ignore all of the other crypto noise. I've spent my time, really studying this topic and understanding it. All of crypto is noise. Bitcoin is the signal. Spend your time understanding it because your grandkids will be happy that you did that. And maybe the next digital revolution starts locally. I really believe Goa being as small a community, a lot of these tech entrepreneurs over here, there is a possibility that we can do something and really, create a great ecosystem of the developers, the entrepreneurs, everybody else that's over here, understanding this technology a lot better. If you want, you can learn more about this. Join us at the BITS Summit. We're organizing this in South Goa. You can get some more information on bitplebs.in. Look it up. It's going to be helpful for students. There's a student discount, whatever. But for developers and for entrepreneurs, do not miss this opportunity. Right? We are getting builders from all across the country and other places to come here and discuss about all of these other ideas and that are being built on top of the Bitcoin tech stack. Do not miss it. This is us. We are Bitshala and Plebs Together Strong. We're putting this together. Thank you so much for your time.
I would like to call on stage Mr. Hon'ble Pilani, CEO McLaren. Come on, you can clap louder for Mr. Aaron DeCosta. Mr. Hon'ble Pilani, CEO McLaren. Yes, please, sir. Thank you. We'd like to honor your contributions as well by presenting you a memento or appreciation. And to do the honors, I would like to call on stage Mr. Rohan. Thank you, Mr. Pillai, for supporting Goa Developers Summit to the extent that you have. It truly means a lot. Thank you so much.
All right then. So we have something super exciting next. Please welcome our next speaker, Ms. Reena David, mainframe lead at McLaren Strategic Solutions, where she spearheads modernization initiatives, bridging legacy systems with cutting-edge technologies. Reena brings extensive expertise in COBOL modernization, helping enterprises transform and future-proof their core systems. She has previously worked with top global firms like Infosys, Cognizant, and Accenture, contributing to large-scale enterprise transformations. Her leadership ensures that legacy IT infrastructures adapt seamlessly to modern digital requirements. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Reena David.
A very good afternoon to one and all. First, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to represent my company. So, McLaren Strategic Solutions, we are a global consulting and technology services firm. We are based out of the US and in India. And we at McLaren, we took up the challenge of modernizing one of the oldest technology there is today, the mainframe. I know a lot of people have been talking about AI today, but let me take you back in time. So, what exactly are mainframes? So, mainframes are large, powerful, highly reliable systems, and they were designed to process massive amounts of data and handle millions of transactions. And they do this with incredible speed and reliability. In fact, IBM is the one who first introduced the first mainframe computer. And back then, do you know how coding was done? You had to physically punch holes into cards, and you had to feed those cards into the system. And it was a very long and tedious work. So you can see a stack of cards over there. And God forbid that you would drop those deck of cards because you would spend the rest of the day trying to sort it out. So how did it develop over the years? In the 1960s, the COBOL and Fortran languages was invented. Then came your terminal era. So the terminal era, it kind of replaced your punch cards and you could physically actually code into the screen. Then came the internet era, where mainframes could integrate with C++ and Java. And as of today, mainframes can be integrated with APIs and the cloud. So who exactly uses mainframe? You would be surprised to know that the world's top banks, airlines, and retailers' insurance, they still use mainframe today. Why? Because they are reliable, they still work, they hardly have any downtime. In fact, they have less than 5 hours of downtime in a year. That's very high. And for companies like for banks and finance, healthcare, it's very important for them because they cannot afford to have any downtime. So what is the problem then? What is the problem with mainframe? Why are we trying to modernize them? So there is a skill gap issue. So that is, most of the COBOL developers who have developed these systems, they have retired. So there is no one to really understand the existing application, how it works, and of course, new graduates coming out of college, you won't even know what COBOL is, right? Then you have high costs, which is mainframes. They have a lot of high licensing costs. Then you have knowledge silos. That is, the person who developed the application, he is the only person who knows what they do, because it was developed probably by a number of people over the span of 30-40 years, and they don't have any documentation, so making changes to the system is also kind of difficult because you don't know what exactly the system does. And modernizing mainframe, it is not a new topic. It was in play even before AI came into the picture. But what happened is they tried to modernize COBOL without even understanding what the code actually does, because so what they did is they tried to modernize the code, but they might miss out on small, crucial parts of the application, which caused the modernization efforts to fail. And that's when AI comes into the picture. I know you've been hearing a lot about AI today, the buzzword of the year. So you have AI, agentic AI, so which is a safe and incremental modernization effort. So what AI will do is, AI will understand your legacy code. It will go into your COBOL code and understand it and explain it to you in plain English. So this will help your new developers understand what your COBOL code actually does. It will also convert the code for you into whatever target state that you require. It will also suggest to you test cases and also create functional spec documents, diagrams, and pseudocode from the raw source. How are we doing this in McLaren? We have a framework called Image Framework. This goes one step further. So it doesn't just generate code, it will act with intent. It will understand what your code does and remember the goals and automate it. So let me just talk a little bit about that. So this is our image framework. So image stands for inspect, model, assert, generate, and evolve. So all of this are different agents. They all work together to achieve your end goal. So what does inspect do? Inspect goes into your code base and understand, okay, this is what the COBOL code does. It explains to you what it is. So it generates a set of documents that explains what the COBOL code is doing. And this is validated. Next is your model agent. What does a model agent do? The model agent will create a visual architecture of the code. Then comes your assert agent. Assert, you'll be surprised, assert actually regenerates the COBOL code back from this inspect and model agent. And why do we do that? We just want to verify that what we have understood, like what the inspect agent and what the model agent understood is right or not. So it is verification at its very core. And then you have the generate phase, generate agent. This is where you actually transform your COBOL code into Java or whatever is needed. And then is the evolve state, which is you convert your Java code into the visual architecture of the Java code. So this is how is this beneficial to us? Because this reduces the operational risk because you're having validation at each and every phase of the conversion stage, and you have faster time to new features, and you have cost efficiency over time. From my personal experience, I am a COBOL developer. So for me to transition into AI, it was a bit of a challenge, and I never thought that in my career that I would be using AI to modernize COBOL applications. So I am proud to say that I am working for an organization that is at the forefront of modernizing legacy architectures. And I'm also proud to say that I work for an organization where 50% of the leadership roles are held by women. Yes. And 38% of our workforce are women. So we support each other, and we are trying to create networks where we can mentor each other and have conversations around us. And we support women who inspire, lead, and innovate. Yeah, that's it from my end. So thank you.
Thank you, Reena. We request you to kindly stay on stage. I'd like to call upon Mr. Anand Prabhadesai, co-founder of Turtle Mint, to kindly present a token of appreciation from our side. We kindly request Mr. Anand to kindly stay back on stage. We have a token of appreciation for you too. I'd like to call upon Mr. Rohan. President, a token of appreciation from Goa Developers Summit 2.0. We welcome Mr. Vijay Sarthi, a seasoned cybersecurity professional with over 20 years of experience in the industry. Vijay has worked with startups and MNCs such as Blue Coat, CyberArk, and McAfee Sky-High, helping large enterprises across Asia Pacific, the Middle East, and India design and deploy cutting-edge cybersecurity solutions, including web application firewalls, privileged identity management, and cloud access security brokers. Beyond work, Vijay enjoys traveling, exploring diverse cuisines, and watching movies based on real-life stories. Join me again in welcoming Mr. Vijay Sarthi.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Cybersecurity, the age of AI. So, how many of y'all are into cybersecurity? One, two, few. Okay. How many of y'all are studying cybersecurity? Any students over here studying? That's good. Good to see that. I hope this is an interesting session for y'all and informative for the rest of them. Yes, thanks. All right. So, a quick recap on how cybersecurity has progressed through the ages. Back in the 80s, sorry for the small font, back in the 80s, the first virus came out. It was known as the Morris worm or Morris virus. And later on in the 90s, there was an increase in cybercrime, followed by more profitable cybercrime because of e-commerce in the 2000s. By 2010, mobile devices, the smartphones became very popular. IoTs came out in the market, and cloud technology was being adopted. So this ended up with a lot of different types of profitable attacks happening. Now, going further into 2020, ransomware as a service, you no longer need to have technical capabilities to create and distribute malware. You were getting it as a package, you just had to pay and you would get that. You know, it's as simple. But not only that, you also started getting the new usage of AI over there with deepfake videos, audio calls, and so on and so forth. So that is till now. But what about in the future? This is a rough guess. I think we can expect real-time video calls which are deepfakes itself, which can look like a person but is not really that person. There is already talk of AI-powered malware that is out, and some amount of AI-powered attacks have happened. We'll talk about that shortly. And what we will see further will be attacks on AI systems itself. So, to prevent or to fight these cybercrimes, there have been a range of different technologies that have been adopted. It started with AV, that's antivirus and firewall back in the 80s, then moved on to creating a policy framework by ISC Square. People who are studying cybersecurity should also look into Google and find out about ISC Square and their CBK. Various tools have been built over time, and policies and all this, and then to counter various types of attacks. However, there is a cat and mouse game going on between people who are developing technologies and people who are trying to misuse the same. So when you look at what we will see going further is the use of AI both in the offense and in the defense. So here are some examples of cybersecurity, offense done using AI. That's the first one in 2025. LameHug. This is a malware that used LLMs to actually adapt and create new attacks. Russia is using AI to infiltrate into Ukraine's networks. AI firm, which is Anthropic, had its platform being misused to create various types of attacks and being weaponized by hackers. How many of you all do bug bounty? Anybody here? That's very good. But you have a new challenger. The AI XBOW is a bug bounty program by itself and is on the leaderboard. So it's no longer a contest between humans and machines or humans and humans. It's now soon going to be a contest between machines and machines. If you just do a quick Google search on all the different challenges of cybersecurity within AI or using AI, there is a long list of 24 different topics. So it's a vast subject itself. I've just shown this. I hope this presentation will be available to you all so you all can use this as a guidance to research more. Now, one of the main things that I like to highlight upon in securing AI tools is in looking at adversarial attacks or prompt injection and indirect prompt injection. All of these come under adversarial attacks. So this is for the technical folks where it shows all the different angles in which an AI system can be attacked, whether it is in the learning phase or it is the data, etc. Now, a AI system being compromised has got real world challenges. It's where you have real world problems that affect human life. For example, accidents with self-driving cars. It has reached to a stage where it is no longer seen as, completely say, it's no longer seen as better than humans. Self-driving cars are still not proven to be better than human driving. So, whether it is self-driving cars or chatbots or all these other systems, there are attacks that happen on the LLMs or on the data or in the model itself. So there is various details over here that are mentioned around mitigation. Basically, some of my other colleagues and speakers have mentioned it. You have to put your guardrails, you have to limit the privilege. That is, you limit the amount of access that the AI tool has got to the data. It has to have, you have to use the least privilege principle always, so that you're able to control how much access it has got, and it doesn't give away sensitive information through such attacks. Basically, even in securing your AI tool, you have to follow the fundamentals of cybersecurity that has been put in place and has been working for so long. That is the layered defense approach, where you have all the different layers of network, application, and data security, including processes and governance. So, in conclusion, what I say is, AI has got a lot of potential. Go ahead, innovate, be it agri-tech, be it medical tech, space tech, climate tech, whatever it is that you are looking to do. But do spare a thought and look at how you are able to use the AI tools when integrating it with your application, and ensure that it is giving a truthful output, and which has got less bias or no biases ideally, and doesn't create harm to the humans, right? Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those lovely words. And I would request you, of course, to stay on stage for a few moments, as we would like to present you a token of appreciation from Goa Developers Summit 2.0. And to do the honors of presenting this memento, let me call on stage Mr. D.S. Prashant. Yes, of course, make some noise. All right, and with that, we are on to our next speaker. We now welcome Mr. Lalit Saraswat, serial entrepreneur and CEO of Sankwal Technologies, a global digital marketing and branding firm. Lalit brings over 25 years of experience in digital strategy, brand building, performance marketing, and leadership. He has served as chairman of CII Goa, and advises startups and educational institutions on growth and innovation. An alumnus of NIT Jaipur, Mr. Lalit has also completed executive programs at IIM Ahmedabad and Bangalore. Beyond business, he is an artist, Paul Harris Fellow, and frequent speaker at national and international forums. Passionate about education, women's financial independence, and student innovation. Everybody, please give it up for Mr. Lalit Saraswat, our next speaker. Over to you, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. How many of you are students here? How many of you are developers and freelancers? How many of you are companies with lots of developers working for you? Fantastic. Welcome to BITS Pilani. This is the second edition of Goa Developers Summit, the Entrepreneurship Edition. And I'll be talking about what I have learned on my entrepreneurial journey for the last 25-30 years. Mr. Ricky Norona is not here. He beat me as the first company to get overseas contracts. We got ours in 1999. That's a UK client. That's how dated we are. We were also from the era of dial-up modems, which was a completely different era. And when we got 14.4 kbps speed, it was like, wow, the world has changed. This is a dial-up era at that point of time. I hope the freelancers amongst you end up getting larger projects. I hope the students amongst you start doing development on your own. And I hope the companies over here get a chance to scale. So what is Goa about? Was Goa only about beaches all along? No. Your beautiful state was a major part of the globalization journey in the world. This was a major port of call at that point of time in the world, where you had the ships calling on this place. You had the Greek historian also, who wrote about Goa being a major trading hub. It's not just about mining. There's lots of things which used to happen before mining. You had the spice trade, you had horses moving in and out of Goa, and that's how the Europeans started coming down to Goa. So why is this important? This is important for you to get out of your local mindset, and start looking at global clients. When you've got a customer in Europe or US, they're not really worried about whether you're there in Vancouver or Vasco. They want to know whether you can get the job done. How many of you are good with reliability? How many of you can do the job reliably? Anyone? Or too far into the day to talk about reliability? How many of you can work with speed? Okay? My request to you is, try and develop a reputation for yourself by which you can start attracting clients over a period of time. And I'm talking this from 25 plus years of experience across 3 continents and hundreds of clients. Today, the world of marketing requires you to use AI. Please leverage it well. So there are 3 truths which an MBA won't teach you. These 3 truths are clarity, not complexity. When you're developing something, make sure that you're working with clarity, make sure your communication is clear, make sure your clients understand and trust you because you're very, very clear and specific about what you say. The second is about speed. Let speed be your strategy. If you are in a position to reply to client emails, if you are able to deliver products on time, every time, then clients won't leave you and go. Clients are going to stick with you. And let that be your strategy, because in most other cases, most other companies, most other freelancers will falter. If you do that over a period of time, business compounds. I'm talking this from experience, as have many of the other people who've spoken before me. We all started with a single laptop, a single desktop, no seed money, and we've gradually grown our companies with hundreds of clients around the world. The only way to do it is you're concise, if you're clear, you're fast, and importantly, your reputation precedes you. If you're developing high quality, your customers are going to talk about you. When your customers start talking about you, business comes in. And that business does not go anywhere. And that is far more powerful than a sales pitch. That's far more powerful than a sales talk. By the way, I have a small QR code on my slides. If you scan that, you get most of my presentation. That's also a pitch for collaboration. If you're a WordPress developer or ad specialist and so on, feel free to scan the QR and connect. The third aspect is the digital stack. If you're a freelancer, if you're a small agency, if you're a large company, if you're a developer, how do you over a number of years start attracting business? The only way to attract it is by having these 5 trinity, which is ensure that you have your hub and spoke model. Your hub is your own WordPress website with your own hosting. Use that to market your services. Even if you're a student, pick up your own website, start your own website and publish what you do there. And then start publishing it on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and so on. Why? Because these spokes, as I like to call them, or these channels, don't always stay that way. There are a few older people also here. You all suffered, as I have, with a bomb 2, a bomb 3, a VSNL site, etc. going off. You've also seen the last president-elect of the US, the president candidate of the US, being kicked out of Twitter, a platform which was not controlled by him. From that perspective, you should always have your own stack, your own website, and then use Google Ads or performance marketing to reach your target customer. Then use social media and announce your wins. Then develop a good CRM strategy to stay in connect with your customer, and use AI tools, because a person with AI is going to beat the person without AI. I'll skip this slide. Rohan has said, no, 2 minutes and you're off. And you already heard enough about AI. I have a couple of friends in the audience who already talked a lot about AI. AI tools that multiply your skill. If you filled up that QR code anyways, we'll get a copy of this. We'll have the list of the AI tools that I recommend, but they've already talked far more in detail. I'll now talk about 5 habits that you should develop that'll help you scale your businesses. It'll help you scale your freelancer into an agency. It'll help you scale your agency into a larger company. If you're already a large company, you'll probably go multinational. But basically, one is anchor your niche. Stay specific to your niche when you're starting off, which is, don't say, I do everything under the sun. Try and talk about a few small areas, a few small industries that you're going to do and do exceptionally well. That is very, very critical to grow. Automate what repeats. If you're doing something that needs repetition again and again, it sounds intuitive, but it is not. Try and get some tool to try and automate that. Because that automation is very, very powerful. Not just for your customers, but for your own businesses. There's something that we forget as service industries. We are happy to do this for customers, but we forget that we have to do it for ourselves. Rohan, last 1 minute before I get off the stage. Yeah. Collaborate beyond borders. Don't just collaborate with people in your building or your village. Collaborate, get the best talent from anywhere, and work with other companies. Unhealthy competition is not good. Co-option is the best thing, where you compete and cooperate with companies which are complementing your skills. There's nothing better to grow. And communicate simply is the 4th parameter. And the 5th one is you celebrate your credibility. When you win, if you know something, if you have an insight to share, post it on LinkedIn, post in these wins, share what you know. That's the only way that you grow. By sharing and giving away your secrets is the only way you grow. So I hope you freelancers get into ownership mode. I hope you developers develop your own companies. And I hope students end up launching your own micro agencies. Even if you're waiting for somebody else's contract, tell us what you can do. Show us what you can do. Remember, distance is geography. The world is flat. If you are able to showcase your skills and sell intelligently and well with new technology, you're going to grow. I'm getting off the stage. I have more time? Oh wow. I have more time. But anyways, thank you so much. Please scan the QR. Let's connect. God bless. Thank you, Rohan.
Thank you, sir. Big round of applause for Mr. Lalit Saraswat. Sir, please stay on stage with us for a bit. We'd like to present you a token of appreciation from Goa Developers Summit 2.0. To do the honors, I would like to call on stage Mr. Siddesh Kurade, Senior Vice President, Persistent. Come on, applause everybody. We have some amazing people on stage with us. Very talented. I would like to request Mr. Siddesh Kurade to please come back and with us on stage. We'd like to present you a token of appreciation as well. To do the honors, of course, we have Mr. Rohan. Come on, applause everybody for these talented people. Thank you. And now on to our next speaker. Please welcome Devansh Chaudhary, founder of Forensic India Private Limited, transforming forensic and crime scene management practices in India. Devansh is an accomplished forensic photographer with hands-on experience at the Central Forensic Science Laboratory, CBI, and academic training from the National Forensic Sciences University, Goa. His startup, Forensic, blends technical expertise, innovation, and investigative technology, improving forensic workflows and empowering law enforcement agencies with actionable insights. So everybody, please welcome Mr. Devansh Chaudhary.
The world has changed. Look around the room. The world has changed dramatically in the last 2 decades. We've seen massive evolution across every field, from electric cars and cutting-edge personal tech to next-day delivery logistics. But there is one critical area that has remained stuck in the past: crime scene investigation. Dedicated police efforts are constantly undermined by a lack of manpower and reliance on outdated, traditional methods. This isn't just inefficient, it creates loopholes, allowing crucial evidence to be missed and criminals to escape justice. Why are we still using the same DSLR camera for high-precision crime scene photography that we use for events and weddings? The risk of low precision is simply too high. This is where Forensic comes in. We are building the high-precision hardware needed to drive the first major change in CSI in decades. Our promise is precision, speed, and revolution. Our core aim is to make investigations swift, enabling true justice. How do we do it? We make the unseen visible to the naked eye. We use targeted wavelengths to excite biological evidence like blood, semen, and saliva, forcing it to emit a specific fluorescence that our device then captures precisely. But we are more than hardware, we are an intelligence layer. Our technology enables instant fingerprint matching against national databases. And our tried and tested AI automatically tags and identifies evidence, like blood spatter, directly on the crime scene feed, accelerating the entire process. We are building a complete CSI support ecosystem. The goal is clear: swift investigation, true justice. And we are building it right here, in Goa. Goa inspires the nation with its models for tourism and education. It is time to add modern law enforcement to that list, establishing a national blueprint for tech-driven investigation. 20 years is long enough. We are Forensic. We are closing the loopholes. Join us in bringing 21st century technology to the front line of justice.
Hello everybody. So I think it's 4:15. Everybody sitting from morning. It looks like everybody is sleepy. एक जोक सुनोगे? Garlic joke. Humor थी उसके लिए. Am I audible now? So. The garlic joke is listen. Okay, I have one more forensic joke. So, a forensic scientist walked into a bar with a magnifying glass, and the bartender asked him, "Sir, what are you looking for?" Then, guess what he said? He said, "Clue. I just want a clue." So, I am Devansh Chaudhary, and I think I was the youngest resident speaker here, and I'm thankful to Rohan, he invited me. In the last 4 or 5 years, I have worked with several law enforcement agencies in India, and I have worked with top lead investigators and good cases, which you hear in news, ranging from Kolkata rape and murder case to whatever you hear about northern states. And in last 4 or 5 years, I have encountered several problems that why in every area, from ranging delivery services to hospitality, everywhere. Even there was like Mayushar's FinTech was very advanced, but there is no advancement from last 20 to 30 years in crime scene imaging, forensics, law enforcement agency, nothing. From 90s to 2025, we are at same page and nobody wants to talk about it. I was also same. Last year, I was in a hearing, I was giving expert testimony, and it was a normal expert testimony, जैसा होता है, जैसा movies में दिखता है, उसका similar ही था. But an incident happened कि after my 1 hour testimony, there was a lady. She was a victim, so she was looking at me in a very serious manner. And testimony, I had a 10 to 15 seconds eye contact with her. And then I realized that as an expert, it was 1 or 2 hours for me. But it was whole life for her. एक बार पैसा गया वापस आ जाएगा. Conviction आता है क्या मेजर केसेस के अंदर 10 साल से पहले? We are like center में लोग हैं, नारी शक्ति, empowering nation. But what about women safety? And what about women justice? Even when I fill forms, startup application के लिए मैं हमेशा others में आता हूँ. कोई कैटेगरी नहीं है. But after working with my team, we have made world's first AI-powered forensic multispectral device. And it is completely made in India. I will explain you in very short minutes features. So it has, like, it's one device maximum evidence. I will show you how it will capture evidences. But it will do like almost work for 3 to 4 experts and 3 to 4 police officers of like crime scene in one device. And let me explain. So it has real-time evidence identification. Generally 8 to 10 experts are required, और इतना पुलिस के पास है नहीं. Overpowered. They are really packed. एक पुलिस वाला जाता है, वो कॉल करता है, सर यहाँ ये हुआ है. Then बाद में टीम आती है, and India है, यहाँ पे लोग थर्ड पार्टी क्राइम सीन को डिस्ट्रॉय कर चुकी होती है तब तक. But ऐसा you don't need anything else. You just need a single device. Then unbreakable evidence integrity. So just 10-15 second story. There was a case. Magistrate was also present. Doctor was also present. Police was also present. Even though जो victim ने अपना statement दिया कि मुझे इन्होंने मारा है और उस वीडियो में उस victim की death हो गई. Even that case is hanging in court from last 17 years. Integrity. So these are the results, and like जो result है वो original है, but image हमने change किया because we can't show real case images in our presentation. And how multispectral imaging works. So ये normal piece of cloth है, crime scene पे से बहुत बड़ा होता है. I don't know यहाँ लोगों ने देखा है नहीं crime scene. I don't want कि आप लोग ऐसे चीज को face करो. मेरा दिल्ली का है. इतना बड़ा सेवानल स्टेन था, कभी नहीं दिखेगा वो. अगर किसी को लगा कि यार इसको एक बार लैब भेजना चाहिए, बाद में 2 साल बाद वहाँ पे उसका नंबर आएगा, 2 साल बाद वो उस केस को ओपन करेंगे, तब तक फंगस लग के वैसे डिग्रेड हो जाएगा. और इसीलिए 70% केसेस तो लैक ऑफ एविडेंस की वजह से बंद हो जाते हैं. सेम, कैन यू से एनीथिंग? ब्लड स्टेन्स, ऑन स्पॉट आइडेंटिफिकेशन. You don't want to wait 3 years, 2 years, nothing. No expert testimony. Simple wall. Crime scene के चारों तरफ दीवारें होती है. दिख रहा है ये wall है कुछ. Can you see anything? On spot identification with government database. यहीं से पता लग जाएगा कौन करके गया. You don't have to wait. Even after making such a good device, I was rejected for, I think, more than 50 times in my pitch decks. And that's the only thing I want to share with future entrepreneurs जो पीछे बैठे हैं कि to be a good startup and to be a good entrepreneur, you have to put that ice in your veins and that fire in your blood. And same I did. And then we got supported by so many agencies. And this is my team, and some of them are here, some of them are not with us right now. And all of them came just to create a social impact, nothing more than that. I don't think I'm a good speaker, but I know I'm that guy who will change this ecosystem in next 10 to 15 years anyhow. Thank you, and last May I will just say, let's not only make digital India, let's make a smarter India. Thank you.
Alright then, up next, please welcome Mr. Utkarsh Dabade, CEO of Goa Miles, a mobility platform revolutionizing urban transport in Goa. Utkarsh's leadership has transformed ride-sharing and digital mobility solutions, driving efficiency, accessibility, and sustainability in local transportation. Please welcome our next speaker, Mr. Utkarsh.
Good afternoon, BITS. How are you today? Great. I know all of you are Gen Zs, right? We classify that even coming from Gen X kind of, thought process. मेरे घर पे भी दो हैं. And company में शायद 150 है. So most of you are having aspiration. You have heard a lot now. Artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, couple of things in as an education background. You might be thinking कि अगला क्या? Many of you might be aspiring, as a leadership, entrepreneur thought process. Am I right or wrong? Raise a hand. How many of you want to make aspirant, entrepreneurs? अपना खुद का धंधा चालू करने वाले कितने लोग हैं यहाँ पे? Great. Couple of them having guts. Superb. I picked up couple of slides from one of the Gen Z, my son. Just to show you where is the opportunity one can find. Okay. Although we are progressing very well, we are talking about now the world fourth, fifth economy in terms of GDP growth. But yes, we do have digital divide. हम लोगों ने जात पात धर्म बहुत देख लिया है. उसके बाद में नेशनलिटी तक चले गए, फेथ तक चले गए. मुझे लगता है कि वर्ल्ड को दो हिस्सों में बटेगा. One is digital enhanced, accessible. One is digital deprived. And this is where the opportunity lies over there. जैसे नरेंद्र मोदी जी बोलते हैं, आपत्ति हमेशा इष्ट आपत्ति हो सकती है अगर आपके पास बिजनेस की सोच है, उसको तरक्की करने की इच्छा है. And I believe so. Any opportunity, whether it is in the problem statement, whether it is in the environment, should be leveraged by the students. And Gen Z has a lot of guts. आप लोगों की सोच हम लोगों से काफी different है. आप लोग अलग तरीके से बंदिश के अलावा काम करना चाहते हैं. You don't want limitation for your life. Although it's been divided into three parts, as an example, I'll quickly flip on that. If you see the lack of digital accessibility, we have a very good infrastructure in terms of mobile network, but accessibility that to the rural area, urban area, in terms of education, in terms of medical, in terms of transportation, is lacking over there, and the number indicates that. At a very high level, our farmers nowadays, they know how to do the best cropping. By practices, by generations, they are doing that. But technology accessibility is not there for them. One of the biggest gap area, I believe, that for the Gen Zs to look into that, how best they can resolve that issue. Government policies, government subsidies, government benefits, passing them to the local language. Government is trying to do a lot of things on that part. But yes, still we are lacking on that area. And I believe that is one of the best case study we can take as an example. Time ka pabandi mujhe. I think the dignitary is there on dais coming over shortly. Let me wrap up fast. I'll quickly narrate the government's case study as one of the digital transformation. Change management. Change management in the sense, अगर आपने मुन्ना भाई MBBS देखा होगा, the actor asked that, वो जो patient बाहर मर रहा है उसके लिए फॉर्म भरना जरूरी है. This is a mindset. If you want to have the processes and that processes are so cumbersome, you cannot adopt that with the help of technology, with the help of enhanced processes, it becomes difficult. And that's what happened with the Goa mine. We're also one of the best case studies in the state of Goa for a change management, mindset change management, with the adoption of the technology. Prior to us and after us, I'll just put some numbers over there. So before us, what was unaccountable, what is accountable? Almost more than 4,300 drivers, they are accountable. Out of that, 2,000 people are a taxpayer, they are accountable. Unorganized to organized, all these people used to get a duties on stands, on a local references, now getting on a technology with the help of the government's platform on the fingertips. They can easily get that duty, they can perform that, and Atiti Deva Bhava can be served in the right manner. Out of this, if you see every day we mobilize more than 20,000 people in the state of Goa. This is the best example of a change management what we bring in last 7 years over here. This is one of the area I'm saying that. There is a lot to do on this part. But along with that, there is a message from my side to the next entrepreneur or Gen Zs over there who are thinking about the society or thinking about solving the problem. When you're trying to resolve certain issue, don't run behind the valuation, don't run behind the rosy pictures. They will not lead you anywhere. Gone on the days for the investor. किसी को प्रोजेक्शन दिखाओ, सब मैं दुनिया तोड़ दूंगा, मैं ये कर दूंगा, वो कर दूंगा, that's fine. ड्रीम तो हर एक के पास होना चाहिए. A practical validation, a practical justification for each and every domain or the problem you are trying to solve should be there. And it can be best validated by your customers. It can be best validated on the grounds. So this is a simple message for them. Along with that, if you can contribute to the society, the philanthropic approach, another aspect of the Goa mine, I'll like to narrate over here. While doing the services for Goa in terms of Atiti Deva Bhava, we feel that it's our duty to care about the people who are a stakeholder or contributor for our services. Almost 5,000 families, we try to support them with the pension yojana. This is one of the new initiatives what we created. And along with this, we are the first company in the country to start a national pension scheme for the drivers. Nobody has done that so far. Thank you so much. The important part of this national pension scheme, this is not the money coming from driver's pocket. Many times, people object us, taxpayer का पैसा use कर रहा है, taxpayer के पैसे से गाड़ी देता है. Lot of comments are there on the social media. So far, we have taken zero money from the government. Zero means zero. And we have given, almost 300 vehicles to the local Bhumiputra, which we want to empower, with the transformation of this digital era. And this pension yojana will give them a dignified life after retirement. Around 8 to 10,000 rupees they can earn per month. This is another example of digital transformation. Every month, they can see on their fingertip how much money is accumulated. Money is not with government, that's with government, that's with NPS scheme, account. And they can see the balance over there. In the interest of time, I'll stop here. Thank you so much, Rohan, for inviting me over here. Thank you a lot.
Sir, we request you kindly stay on stage and we'll present a token of appreciation to you in just a second. Yes. I would like to acknowledge the presence of our Honorable Minister of Transport, Industries, Trade and Commerce, Panchayat Raj Protocol and Legislative Affairs, Shri Godino. Welcome, sir. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Alright, I request Mr. Rohan to kindly present a token of appreciation to Mr.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Shri Centre Head for McLaren Goa. Hailing from Goa, Mr. Shri has almost 2 decades of experience across FinTech, InsurTech, e-commerce, and 3D printing. Known for building high-performing engineering teams and leveraging emerging technologies, he has also co-founded startups such as Wealth Manager and contributed to Vuru Inc. and Brown Tape Technologies. Please welcome Mr. Shri everybody. Over to you, sir.
Hello guys, I'm Sriram Fateh, part of the McLaren Strategic Solutions. I'm going to keep this short and quick. So today you heard a lot of speakers talking here about the dev side of things and building stuff in terms of software. So when you look at the software side, there are two parts to it. One is the development, wherein there's a dev team building a software, and the other part of it is the quality assurance piece. That's what I'm going to be covering here for next 3 to 5 minutes. So it's in a software company, right? There is a developer team building the software, and then a QE team, which is the way I would define it is the bunch of people who would actually find bugs in the system one day before the delivery so that the dev team can tear their hair apart. Right? So that's what actually happens in most of the practical scenarios. But in the interest of the business, that is kind of a problem, because what happens is, while the development team strolls ahead with building the whole product, the QA team actually lags behind because it has to catch up with the dev teams. Now, yeah. So in the traditional QA processes, right? It was usually all the manual work and QA team using manual processes to test the system. With the recent AI, we have the GenAI co-pilots which are being used to speed up those QA processes so that you don't actually do it on day before the delivery, but you can catch those defects much earlier by building the necessary automation that you have. The next natural step to this would be using the agentic AI systems so that you have a bunch of AI agents working together so that the AI agents will build you the automation that is necessary to validate your software that is being built by the developers. So it's not the QA who is actually hand-coding the stuff, but the QA instructing a set of AI agents to build the necessary automation that is required to test the software system that is being built. And this is exactly what we are building at McLaren, right? So it's a school of thought, but we have actually graduated out, and then it's the systems of thought that we are building out here. And an agentic AI-based quality engineering solution, which is a set of agents that are put together that will generate you the AI automation solution. The best part of it is, all this is being built out of our Goa office. So we are situated in 91 Springboard right now, and it's the people like the students that are sitting here who we have working closely with the dev talent that we have within McLaren. So it's the students, the fresh graduates coming out of the colleges, along with our experienced talent that has put together the state-of-the-art AI automation solution, and this has been already adopted by some of our clients. Right? Again, the best part is we are building this out of Goa. Okay? Yeah. Okay. I think that's the amount of time that we had here. We would love to get in touch with you if you want to see what we are building, and if you're curious, please do visit us, get in touch with us, and we'll give you a peek into what we are doing from our Goa McLaren's office. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. And I would request you to please stay on stage. We'd like to present you a memento. To do the honors, I would like to call upon, of course, Mr. Rohan.
We request Ms. Ambika to kindly present flowers to Honorable Minister, welcoming him to grace our amazing occasion today. We request Shri Movin Godino, Honorable Minister, to present. We request Ms. Ambika to present a bouquet, a welcome bouquet to Mr. Anand Prabhudesai and Mr. Nitin Kukure. We will now proceed to our felicitation of our amazing Goan leaders of industry, Mr. Nitin Kukalekar and Mr. Anand Prabhudesai, at the hands of Shri Movin Godino. Round of applause, everyone. Come on, guys. A token of appreciation for their invaluable contributions to the industry as Goan leaders. Come on, guys, I want to keep hearing that round of applause. Come on, let's go. And now honoring Mr. Nitin Kukalekar for again his invaluable contributions to the industry and being a Goan leader. A louder round of applause, everyone. We have industry titans on the stage with us to see innovation unfolding for the last few years and again right in front of you right here. We now have an amazing address by Shri Honorable Minister Shri Movin Godino. Please, sir, do approach the podium.
Good evening, everyone. Present here, the President of the Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry, this is Pratima Don, the Dr. Anand Prabhudesai, whom I just felicitated, Mr. Nitin Kumbalekar, Mr. Sanjay Amonkar, Mr. Bharti, who has actually put all this thing together, getting the students, the intellectuals, people who matter in the tech industry, and to have this lovely function for all of you. As you know, today, as I stand here, and the little that I could see while I came here and heard a few people very briefly, we are simply seeing how technology is changing the world and changing it fast to extents that even those actually working on those platforms, working in those particular fields, getting so many innovative ideas, even they find that the next day some other idea comes around and that becomes perhaps obsolete and not the latest trend. As you know, today we are a young population in our country, and I am happy that Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry, along with all the tech industry, this particular Goa Developers Summit of Entrepreneurship is being held from a very prestigious institution, that is BITS Pilani, where otherwise also you have the best students coming here, and we have had so many startups, so many new things being emanating from them, showcasing that they are the future brains which are going to be part of the new ecosystem that's going to develop over the next decade or so, or much beyond that. Today, the way we work, the way we deliver, the things we do have to change. Everybody, ultimately, use of technology has to be for the common man. It has to reach the last person below. Only then it attains even better meaning. And that is what technology is meant for. I, for one, was just listening to a video of Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, how he achieved, people asked him how you are able to achieve so much in last 3 years. And I want to share that idea with you, which also struck me. He said, we have something called a war technology room, war infrastructure development room, where people from different departments, from different agencies, everybody is able to communicate at the same time. Instead of things running from one place to another, he said in that one single war room, we are able to sort out things which would have taken years, like the new ceiling, just to give an example, took them 11 years. But thrice as much area where they had a similar work done, it was achieved in less than 3 years. So this is the effect of the new thinking that has to come. And who can bring about the real implementation of new ideas, new thinking is technology. Technology has transformed our entire world into a huge global village. Sitting down here in a matter of seconds, one can understand, one can learn, one can assimilate new ideas, one can plan for the future, one can make corrections and get really some new product, new things for society, for industry, for businesses to make it work. And I must say that our Goa government has not lagged behind, because I was just looking at some of the stalls that were put up, whether it is robotics and all other related tech world that needs that. What you need to train the young minds is happening even at the school level. And institutes like BITS Pilani are supposed to build up even more and move forward much forward. Looking at, just to give one example, because I felicitated him, Mr. Anand Prabhudesai, a Goan working from Mumbai. Similarly, with my interactions, I have seen Goans working not only in Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, working all over the world. So we have such intelligent Goans. We don't know they have studied earlier here or they were born here. As I say, it's a global village. But it's heartening to know that as intelligent as other people may think from elsewhere in the country or the world, our Goans also are equally intelligent. Our Indian brains are the best brains which were recognized long ago. We are recognizing it today after the use of technology in a big way. Even institutions like NASA and others, the brain drain that was happening even for such institutions. Now what is happening? Now it's a reverse brain drain. At that point of time, I remember in my little younger days, when I used to say the things will happen, people will start coming back, it would also perhaps laughable. But today, the way India is growing, there is space for every new thing that would be generative of something which is better than what already exists, something which is futuristic, some things which will change the trend. And this is what we expect from the youngsters. This is what we expect from the present entrepreneurs. Of 140 crore people and the young population that is part of that, with new opportunities in education, with new opportunities in the various institutions which are coming up, training our young youth, I think it is real good material for India to develop as a true superpower. Superpower in the sense that there is something for everyone, for every section of society that they will benefit from. First thing is, I would love to have more and more technology also coming in the agricultural sector. Today, that is one place where I see that the contribution to the GDP is not as much as they are working so hard. No one can survive without food. We need all of them to grow the food to ourselves for our intake. Yet, it has not yet reached them in a manner that they would find agriculture as more sustainable, more earning, more income, thrice or 4 times what they are earning. How to adapt technology to make it happen. I'm sure if all of you apply your minds, it is bound to happen. Other things, as a matter of course, they are bound to happen. Today, with social media, today with the gaze on all the things happening and with so much of communication to and fro from every part of the world, we are always on tenterhooks. If you want to be the best, you have to deliver. Either you perform or you perish. This is the message, whether for industry, whether for the administration, whether for us, whether for each one of us. And technology is rather going to expose the bigger things and the good things in a much more better manner for everyone to see. I'm sure with the day-long deliberations, all of you must be quite exhausted because I'm able to judge that on the presence I see here. If it was opening or little earlier, I would have seen a house full. But I also don't want to take more of your time. I want to once again congratulate Mr. Rahul Varti for putting this in place, the Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry, President Pratima for carrying this forward along with Sanjay Amunkar as well and all her colleagues, Nitin Kumkalekar, not to forget him because he was also the force behind one of the tech companies in the earlier years. Verna today, I want it known, Verna Industrial Estate, not only as a pharmaceutical industry, with the latest and good products being produced, high standards being maintained, but I want it developing also as a tech hub with more and more industries coming who want to set up shop there. Even for food processing, we have something called the Latham-Barshe Industrial Estate, which is reserved only for food processing industry. So we want the things that are getting wasted should be utilized not only for national consumption or for consumption in the state, but for the world market as well. And slowly but steadily, all these things happening. All these things are going to happen. One last point I want to make at this tech summit: how good and in what way technology can add value and take that forward. I am wondering. We are a small state, Goa. I'll give you a simple example. Milk production, we are getting more than half of it from outside our own state. How to make our farmers richer, what practices they have to adopt, what technology they have to use, what is being done elsewhere. We have to look upon this. Flowers, they all come from across the border. Vegetables, they all come from across the border. That's why I was harping on agriculture a little more, because technology, if it is used at the grassroots level for empowerment of people from the marginal sections, it is going to help in a big way. You will have self-help groups becoming micro or macro industries, and in turn maybe small scale industries. Some of them have already graduated, and I expect these such ideas to germinate into something actionable which should come from you. I don't want to take more time. I wish all of you all the very best. I am sure what you have deliberated upon the whole morning and the whole sessions that you have had is going to culminate into wonderful things for Goa, for our state, as well as for the country, keeping in tune with the Honorable Prime Minister's program of Atmanirbhar Bharat, or our Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant, Swayambhu Goa. Goa has got some beautiful things which sometimes we don't even know. And if we know we can make such lovely products, if we can get those things at the world market, then I think it will be a different ecosystem developing for the people at large. Looking at these dreams being fulfilled, I hope you all are going to be apt at that. With one last point I want to say, with the introduction of a brand new industrial policy which I leveraged when I came in, I had a warehousing and logistics policy which was also a very good policy. I brought about transparency in the allotment of land in the Industrial Development Corporation. At the click of a button you can know where land is available, where it's not available, what is the price, where it is being auctioned, where it is being given through the Investment Promotion Board. All these things are visible. That's why we have people are wanting to come here. But what I am dreaming of is Goa, because our Goans mostly love also white collar jobs. I want to make Goa one of the largest trading and logistical hub, which is possible. With your help, see how you can leverage technology to achieve that particular dream and make Goa totally different. With these words, I once again thank the organizers, thank each one of you, and also the captains driving innovation, driving the changes, driving new ideas, and all of you for having made this particular summit a big success. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for those truly inspiring words. We request you to kindly stay on stage. We have a token of appreciation to present to you. In order to present this token of appreciation, I would like to call upon the following dignitaries on stage. Mrs. Pratima Don, GCCI President, kindly to join us on stage. Mr. Nitin Koklekar, ex-GCCI President. Mr. Sanjay Monkar, Director General, GCCI. Mr. Rohan Varti, Chairman, IT Committee, GCCI, and Ms. Ambika Dakankar, Deputy Director, GCCI. A loud round of applause for our Honorable Minister for gracing our occasion today. Thank you so much for inspiring words. Keep that applause going, guys. Come on. Up next, we have something truly special to you. We actually have a virtual address presented to all of you by our very own Hon'ble Chief Minister of Goa, Dr. Pramod Sawant. Be joining us through a video that will be playing shortly.
Distinguished guests, industry leader, members of the Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry, distinguished speakers, innovators, entrepreneurs, students and friends. It is a great pleasure to join you this evening at the Goa Developers Summit 2025. Today, Goa Developers Summit 2025 has truly lived up to its theme. The discussion around artificial intelligence, digital transformation, and startup innovations have shown how fast the world is changing and how Goa can play a meaningful role in shaping that change. Through government initiatives like Goa IT policy, startup policy, and skill development programs, we have aimed to create a fertile ground where innovation can thrive. We are working towards strengthening infrastructure, simplifying the regulations, and building stronger links between the industry, academia, and government. An event like the Goa Developers Summit are vital in making the vision a reality. They provide a platform for the knowledge exchange, networking, and collaboration, helping our youth, developers, and entrepreneurs learn, grow, and contribute to the Goa digital journey. The response given by all of you present here today given us the immense confidence in our state's future. Today we have gained insight into the emerging technologies like AI. You have heard success stories from the innovators who once started small and those who will shape the industry's future in all coming years. I encourage our youth and startups to look at AI not just as a tool for business, but as a force for social goods. To create a solution for agriculture, sustainability, tourism, and public services. For the many participants who joined us today, I hope you leave not just with the notes from the session, but with the new ideas, new perspectives, and new relationships that will shape your journey ahead. I take this moment to sincerely congratulate the Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry, especially the GCCI IT committee led by dynamic chairman Mr. Rohan, and for the vision and hard work that made this event a great success. Your commitment to building the strong IT knowledge ecosystem in Goa is commendable. The Chamber continues to play an instrumental role in connecting the government industry with us, and this summit is a shining example of that efforts. Having witnessed the earlier edition of the Goa Developers Summit 2023, the growth and the scale of this year's event is truly commendable. The last summit laid the foundation. It is about building a community. This edition has taken that foundation and built upon it with confidence and ambitions. We have seen more participation from the startups, more engagement from academia, and stronger industry collaboration. By creating a platform like Goa Developers Summit, GCCI is doing more than hosting a conference. It is building a community of thinkers, builders, and change makers. To the organizer team and the partners, thank you for your dedication and collaboration. To our speakers and panelists, your insight have inspired and educated everyone present here. You have given our audience not just information, but motivation, and most importantly, to all the participants, students, developers, innovators, your enthusiasm and curiosity are the two reasons behind this summit success. I hope you leave not just with the notes from the session, but with the new ideas and new perspectives that will shape your journey ahead. your representation, the future of Goa's technology landscape. And I have full faith that you will be carrying forward the ideas sparked here into the tangible outcomes. Let us continue the collaboration between the government, industry, academia, and the developer community to make Goa a model for the innovation-led development. Together we can create an ecosystem where ideas are nurtured, talent is celebrated, and innovation is a part of our culture. Once again, I congratulate the President, Mrs. Pratima Moore, and the entire GCCI team and the IT committee and ever contributor to this successful summit. Your efforts have been truly elevated Goa standing at the hub for the technology and entrepreneurship. To all the attendees, thank you for your participation, your insight and your energy. May the Goa Developers Summit continue to grow in the scale, in impact and in inspiration. Year after year, let us move forward together towards a smarter, stronger and more innovative Goa.
Loud round of applause. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Up next, we have our keynote speaker, Mr. Anand Prabhudesai, co-founder at Turtle Mint, a leading insurtech company, processing more than 3,500 crores of premiums each year. Anand oversees technology, product. He holds a BTech in electrical engineering from IIT Bombay and an MBA from the University of Chicago, with previous experience at Nokia India and Yahoo India. Beyond business, Anand is a certified yoga instructor, embodying the balance of professional excellence and personal well-being. I need a loud round of applause for our keynote speaker. Can we get some nice loud going? Welcome you, sir, for your amazing keynote address.
So very good evening to everyone. I'm Anand Prabhudesai. I'm co-founder of Turtle Mint. Grew up in Goa and then went on a journey which took me to the US, worked in the Silicon Valley for a few years, came back to India and then decided to take a plunge and start Turtle Mint, jumped into entrepreneurship and built something using technology which is now able to take insurance and other financial products to all parts of the country. But I'm not going to talk about Turtle Mint today. What I want to talk about is the coming age of AI, something which I am very, very excited about as a technologist and as a business person. So it's not lost upon anyone anymore that we are entering the age of AI. AI is what is called a technology super cycle. So it started with the first industrial revolution when mechanical power transformed manufacturing and we were able to have manufactured goods. About 100 years later, we had the second industrial revolution with the availability of or discovery, invention of electricity. We figured out how to tame electricity, which powered our machines and helped us create new machines as well, like the light bulbs. And then we had telegraphy and telecommunication as well, which were based on electrical signals. About 80 years later, around 1947, the transistor was invented and that led to the age of information, the third industrial revolution. And we had computers that we could use to do calculations, to do data, to process data and so on. And they became a part of our lives and of our work. In 1995, the age of the internet came when we were able to connect all these computers into one large network and therefore be able to share information with each other and information became accessible, we all carry a very powerful computer in our pockets today, which is the mobile phone. And now in 2022, something extraordinary happened. There is a technology which got invented at Google called the transformer. And the transformer allowed machines to understand language like the way we do. And out of this capability emerged machines that were intelligent. And now we are in the age of artificial intelligence, which will drive a whole new era of rapid scientific progress in things like robotics, life sciences, space, and so on. And I'll talk a little bit about some of these things and why it's such a great opportunity, why I'm excited about it, and why we need to be all ready for it. So what's special about artificial intelligence? There is a test when the first computer was devised by a gentleman named Alan Turing. They came up with a test called the Turing test. And the Turing test said, if a computer could fool a human to think that they're interacting with a human, then, we have reached intelligence, right? Computer has become intelligent. And that's clearly happened. Right now we have, chatbots and voice bots that are interacting with us. We don't even know that there is a machine that is talking to us. So that's the first thing. The machines are now able to interact with us like they are humans. The second thing, which is very, very powerful, which was not there in the earlier computers, was that these machines are able to learn new stuff and they keep getting better. So you can see a picture over there. There's holy color, somebody has clapped, and you can see the splash, right? Now to be able to generate something like this on video, the technology needs to understand physics, understand how force works, how gravity works, how the splash would happen to make it look realistic. And this is what this technology is able to understand. It's intuitively able to understand physics, maths, many other things, and therefore able to do really wonderful things. And I'll show you some of the stuff that's possible today. And the third thing, because this technology can interact with us like a human being would, it's able to learn, we will soon have these machines sitting next to us and working with us, right? And that's going to reshape knowledge work. So the first industrial revolution reshaped physical work. This now is, and computer revolution also reshaped to some part, but we were still using machines. Humans were using computers as a tool. In this era, we will now have machines working with us as if they were our colleagues. So let me show you what's happening to give you a little bit of glimpse of how AI is changing video production, right? Movie making, ad films, content, and so on. So let me play this video first.
Welcome to the YouTube channel of 30 Minutes.
रवि ने 10 लाख रुपए का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस लिया। उसे लगा अब कोई टेंशन नहीं। एक दिन उसे सर्जरी करानी पड़ी और उसने 6,000 रुपए प्रतिदिन वाले हॉस्पिटल का कमरा चुना। लेकिन क्लेम के समय झटका लगा। बीमा कंपनी ने कहा, सॉरी, आपकी पॉलिसी में सिर्फ 3,000 रुपए प्रतिदिन का रूम रेंट कवर है। इस रूम रेंट लिमिट की वजह से जो रूम रेंट का डिफरेंस था वो रवि आउट ऑफ पॉकेट देने के लिए बोला गया। यही नहीं, इसके साथ डॉक्टर की फीस, सर्जरी का खर्चा, दवाइयाँ, सबका कवरेज भी आधा कर दिया गया। तो 3 लाख रुपए के बिल में रवि को लगा इंश्योरेंस पूरा भर देगा, लेकिन उसको अपनी जेब से बड़ा हिस्सा देना पड़ा। 10 लाख की पॉलिसी होने के बावजूद एक छोटी सी रूम रेंट लिमिट आपका क्लेम कम कर सकती है। इसलिए हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस लेते समय इस शर्त को जरूर चेक करें।
Let me play one more video.
Welcome to the YouTube channel of 30 Minutes.
मेरे पास क्रेडिट कार्ड थी और डेबिट कार्ड था।
लेकिन हर बार कंफ्यूजन होता था, कौन सा कब यूज करना चाहिए? गलत कार्ड यूज करो तो अननेसेसरी चार्जेस और स्ट्रेस दोनों ही मिलते। एक दिन एटीएम से पैसे निकालने की जरूरत पड़ी, मैंने गलती से क्रेडिट कार्ड यूज कर लिया, तुरंत इंटरेस्ट लगा, ऊपर से कैश एडवांस चार्जेस भी, बिना किसी ग्रेस पीरियड। तब समझ आया, एटीएम के लिए सिर्फ 10।
Welcome to the YouTube channel of Government.
मेरे पास क्रेडिट कार्ड भी और डेबिट कार्ड भी, लेकिन हर बार कंफ्यूजन होता था, कौन सा कब यूज करना चाहिए? गलत कार्ड यूज करो तो अननेसेसरी चार्जेस और स्ट्रेस दोनों ही मिलते। एक दिन एटीएम से पैसे निकालने की जरूरत पड़ी, मैंने गलती से क्रेडिट कार्ड।
Welcome to the YouTube channel of Government.
मेरे पास क्रेडिट कार्ड भी और डेबिट।
Welcome to the YouTube channel of Government.
मेरे पास क्रेडिट कार्ड भी और डेबिट कार्ड भी, लेकिन हर बार कंफ्यूजन होता था, कौन सा कब यूज करना चाहिए? गलत कार्ड यूज करो तो अननेसेसरी चार्जेस और स्ट्रेस दोनों ही मिलते। एक दिन एटीएम से पैसे निकालने की जरूरत पड़ी, मैंने गलती से क्रेडिट कार्ड यूज कर लिया, तुरंत इंटरेस्ट लगा, ऊपर से कैश एडवांस चार्जेस भी, बिना किसी ग्रेस पीरियड के। तब समझ आया, एटीएम के लिए सिर्फ डेबिट कार्ड ही सेफ है। डेली ग्रोसरीज, पेट्रोल भरवाना या फूड डिलीवरी, इन सब के लिए मैं डेबिट कार्ड ही यूज करता हूँ। पैसा डायरेक्ट बैंक अकाउंट से कटता है और स्पेंडिंग भी कंट्रोल में रहती है। जब बजट टाइट हो तो डेबिट कार्ड बेस्ट होता है, लेकिन जब मुझे नया फोन लेना था।
So we just showed you a couple of videos. One was a hospital scene where you see this person who's hospitalized, you see actors in that shot. Both of these, as you folks may have guessed, both of these videos were completely created using AI. These are not real actors, these are not real scenes. To produce a video like this would take tremendous amount of effort. Anybody who's done video production would know you need to do the sets, you need to get the actors, you need to do the rehearsals, and so on. It's a pretty complicated process. To do animation video, which you saw second, is even harder. It takes a lot of effort to make graphics move and emote like a human being. With AI, these videos can be created with very little effort. So we have people who are simply creating these videos by writing a bunch of text. So you act like as if you are a movie director and you write a script. You can see the script here, scene by scene, where we have described what the scene is supposed to do, and you give the script to the AI tool. So in this case we use Google AI Suite, and it's able to create very high quality videos with minimal effort. You can see how this is reshaping the job of a video producer. Now if people like you and me try to create a video like this, we will not be able to get the quality, because you really need to have experience in how great videos are produced in order to be able to do that kind of work. But the person who is a video producer today can use this tool and create a lot more content. So how does this change the life for all of us? Today, if somebody wants to create a video like this, of this quality, they would need to spend, with the traditional technologies, lakhs of rupees. And therefore, it's not accessible to everybody. Only the large brands can produce something like this. But today, a smaller brand, a smaller company, an individual can produce this kind of video. So even your wedding video shoot, for example, you can do with AI at very low cost and do a fantastic job. And so what we see is that with AI technology, the work will get reshaped. There'll be a lot more work happening, and people's lives will change. One of the interesting facts about AI adoption is how it has outpaced all prior technology trends. So you can see here 4 major technology trends and how much time it took to get to 100 million users, which is a fairly large number. For the PC, it took 25 years. For the internet, it took about 8 years. WhatsApp, which is a chat messenger application, took about 4 years or so. And with ChatGPT, which is a chatbot, it took just 60 days for 100 million users to start using this application. And this is an extremely addictive application. I mean, people who are using it very, very regularly, almost all the time. 900 million active users on AI tools as of date. And India has become the second largest country after the United States in terms of usage of popular AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and so on. So India has really taken on the usage of this, and I'm sure many people in this audience are very regular users like I am. So one of the worries we are all having, if AI is going to start doing some of the work we do, is there going to be a job loss? And like I told you about the videographer example, right? The videographer's job is going to become a lot easier, and therefore the expectation is whenever cost of a technology comes down, its usage only increases. And we have that example when the cost of data came down with the geo revolution, more people started using internet. It's not that, you know, the profitability of the telecom companies or whatever went down, it actually went up. And therefore, when intelligence becomes available in this fashion, the expectation, at least from technology optimists like me, is that the usage of this will of all kinds of skills will actually go up. And of course, there is going to be some displacement. Some jobs will be lost. Some jobs will change. But net, the expectation is that, you know, the jobs will go up. The other point, which is a deeper point, is that there are things which we humans have that AI just cannot replicate. And these human qualities will become a premium when AI starts to work with us. And these are things like curiosity. We are the ones who are asking questions today to ChatGPT, right? It's our curiosity that is driving the usage. It's our drive and motivation. We want to do something. We want to go to Mars. We want to go have impact on people. We want to make films. It's our drive and motivations, which will drive and make things happen, and AI will be a tool and in service of us. We are the ones who have ethical judgment about what's right, what's wrong. The AI may look like it has, but it doesn't. It's just giving out what it has been taught. And therefore, there is a responsibility here with us also to train AI to think in that ethical fashion. And then there is consciousness, which makes us all deeply human, and that's something AI cannot have. And therefore, AI will be a tool in service of humans, at least for the next 15, 20 years, unless technology radically changes. So there are certain skills that we need to imbibe in order to be prepared for this age. And there are two things, use and build, which I will talk about. Use is basic AI literacy, to be able to use a tool, to prompt, to get information, and so on. And then using AI as an assistant. If you can integrate AI in your regular work, get it to do things, it can do analysis, it can generate email, things like that, which are basic things where you can use AI to make your life easy. And use is something all of us have to do. Just today I saw a news article that CBSE is going to make AI literacy required from third standard. And that's a great move because it's such an important skill for all of us to have if we are to thrive and be productive in the coming years. Then comes the next set of skills, which is for the engineers and builders in this room. This is around how you can harness that power of AI to build technologies that can shape humanity, that can change our lives. So one of them is expert agents. You can do, agents who are lawyers, financial advisors, accountants, those kinds of skills. If you are able to imbibe into agents, and they can be in the service of everybody. Next is cutting edge applications, areas where today, very little software engineering is being used. Things like medical innovation, robotics, creation of new devices. You must have seen those glasses already which are out there that can interact with you. They are becoming computers, so to speak. So a lot of stuff that can be built with this new technology which is yet to come out. And that's an opportunity for engineers and people who are in this, in the build kind of form. And then there are core AI models. This is PhD level engineering work where there are problems that AI has today around hallucination, personalization and so on, which can be solved, including vernacular, AI being able to talk in multiple languages. So there's a lot of interesting work to be done, new skills for us to be to acquire. And for a country like India, AI can be a real superpower because it's a golden opportunity for us to upgrade the living standards for everybody. The cost of all kinds of services is going to drastically come down by the application of AI. And just a few examples. Today when in the classroom, there are 40-50 students. The problem is that out of the 40-50, maybe 90% of the students fall behind because they're not able to keep up with the teacher, not able to understand. And we have this huge problem of students graduating from schools but not having the fundamental reading, writing, arithmetic skills. And with AI, it's very easy to envisage a personalized tutor who will teach you whatever you need based on what level you are at, and in a way which you understand, by giving you examples that are contextual, that help you develop your interest. So if somebody likes to play cricket, it can take a cricket example to teach you a mathematical concept. All of that is going to become possible. The other is, of course, healthcare. In our remote towns and villages, it's really hard to access healthcare services. I'm sure you might have heard of, radiology scans being studied and diagnosed by AI. And all of this technology will make access to healthcare services available no matter where you live, and the price points will also come down significantly. And then there are expert services for all. How many of us can afford a lawyer or an accountant or even know of various kinds of services that may be available that we may need? It could be a psychotherapist, it could be a grooming consultant, right? So many different services which are out there but only available to a few elite people. And these services also can be made available to everybody. So if you're thinking of building applications today, as an engineer, there's a huge amount of opportunity to create technology and services that can be helpful. You'll be helpful to others as well as build a very solid business for yourself. So here's an example of a proactive financial advisor that does many things for you. Today, if you're using a financial app, you have to go inside the app, do something, interact with it. It doesn't come to you. But we all know we are lazy with our personal finance, right? We miss out on things, we may not be so interested. So one can imagine a financial advisor that's AI driven, that will chat with you, call you, based on certain signals and from your data, including making you aware of opportunities for financial investment, educating you, planning for your life milestones. A lot of that can be built using this new technology by adding an intelligence layer on top of financial applications that we have today. And so that's a totally different level of experience, where even somebody who's not very highly educated or not even basic or may not even, and most of us don't even have financial literacy, for example, we will be able to take many of these wonderful services to that population. So there are many views about what AI will do. It's a very powerful technology, and there is a dystopian view that it could lead us to our end, which is of course a possibility like any technology, which is very powerful. It can be misused, but I'm an optimist about what the technology can do for us, and my view of what that is I've taken this picture of a person standing in a field. There could be a picture of cities and spaceships and flying cars and so on. All of that could also be possible. But I think this technology's real power is that it will help us become healthier, happier, and go back to nature. That's where I feel the AI will actually be able to take us, which is where we hopefully will be more satisfied and happier than ever before. Of course, this is not going to happen automatically. This is a responsibility on us who are building AI applications to make sure that we program it for those purposes, right? And that's where responsibilities of the government, the regulator also comes in to make sure to guide the development of AI in that sort of a direction. And my last slide, and I want to leave you with a quote of Nelson Mandela, who said, "One cannot be prepared for something without the firm belief that it must happen." AI is something that is going to happen, but without our belief, it will not happen. And if we have that belief, we can also make it happen. It's not that there is an AI that is getting built and we will simply consume it. We have an opportunity to shape it by understanding how it works, by using it, by building some of the applications. And then the AI will be shaped in a form that is that we accept, that helps us grow. Right? And so my urging to you is to be prepared, jump into it. Lots of young engineers in this room, please jump into it. One of the things is when you're doing something new, you need to spend a lot of time, which means 60, 70, 80 hours. And if you're able to put that, please put that time in, get into this technology, understand it thoroughly, because it is, like I said, the fourth industrial revolution, which is upon us, and that will transform all our lives, hopefully for the better, and you have the opportunity to make that impact happen. So on that note, thank you very much for your patient hearing.
Huge round of applause, everyone. Thank you, sir, for that totally illuminating talk. We request you to kindly be on stage as we present a token of appreciation. Calling upon Mr. Sanjay Amankar to please deliver a token of appreciation. Yes. I think that needed a standing ovation. Don't you think, guys? Come on. The perspective on AI redefining humanity and helping us along the way, a truly inspirational keynote address.
Thank you. I'll take 2 minutes for the vote of thanks. First and foremost, a big thank you to our Hon'ble Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant for supporting this Goa Tech Fest, that is GDS 2.0. To Mr. Marvin Godino, our beloved Minister for Industries, for gracing the occasion. Thank you very much, sir. We also thank Mr. Rohan Khaunte, the IT Minister, who was present here in the morning for some time. Thank you, Mr. Rohan Khaunte, sir. All our sponsors, without whom we couldn't have done this big event. All the students who came and who took part in the deliberations as well as the knowledge sharing. Special thanks to Dr. Suman Kundu of BITS Pilani. Sir, thank you so much for your support and encouragement. Our managing committee, our president, Mrs. Pratima Don, thank you ma'am, and the managing committee members, we have Mr. Lalit Saraswat, Siddesh Kurade, and some more who are present, thank you so much. A special thanks again to Mr. Rohan Verti, our IT chair, and his team, who has worked very hard day and night for this event. In fact, we had to postpone the date from 4 to 11, and that was a big challenge, but we have overcome the challenge. And the biggest challenge was to hold the children for the full day. To some extent we were successful, but at the end of the day it's very difficult, and still we have managed it. So we will be reworking on this event in the future editions. Thank you very much to the GCCI team, the team from BITS Pilani. Special thanks again to Mr. Arjun who has helped us, and all the students again who came. So have a good evening. Thank you so much, and see you again for the Tech Fest JDS 2.30 next year. God bless and good night.